Hey, what's up, Berdub Nation? That's my horrible E40 rendition. Oh, what is that? Oh, here it is. That's on my other screen over there. Turn that off. We got Pacers Knicks right now. 5:02 to go. Pacers up one, but Josh Hart's at the line. I was thinking I would actually do the play-by-play just because it's been a while, and I don't want to lose practice in terms of when we do Warriors games. But and it's going to be a while before we do a Warriors game, which will be, I think it's going to be the Sacramento Classic, whatever they call that, Summer League, early July, either at Chase or Sacramento. We'll see. But yeah, what we do here, I usually like to start off by explaining just what we do. We are I'm starting to use the words high vibrational more often now. We're the high vibrational 1% of 1% of Dub Nation that really loves the game, loves our team, and chooses positivity when we talk about the team. Because you have a choice. Why wouldn't you root for the team? Why wouldn't you want guys to succeed? Why would you throw guys under the bus, as people tend to do on social media? We are definitely not like that. We don't do that here. And we're going to do that tonight, even though there's no Warriors playing. There is an ex-Warrior, Donte DiVincenzo, is on the floor right now. After the next timeout, I'll do play-by-play, because this is an exciting game, and I'm really impressed by the Pacers, who are up 5 right now after I think a couple free throws they just shot. I wasn't paying attention. Brunson with the 3. He's amazing. He's going to hit 40 again. And sometimes I wonder. Let's get the back screens on here. Let's turn the back screens on. Boom, right there. Now you get a box score. It's got Indiana on it. Wow, Halliburton, a rare turnover. I mean, look at these numbers. 8 assists already for Hallie. That's his first turnover. And Brunson, let's check his numbers. 34. Fell out of bed, 34 points. And draws a foul. I mean, some of the things Brunson does, I almost think even our GOAT, Steph Curry, could learn from. That's how good Jalen Brunson is. Uses his body incredibly, just has a way. I know it's hard for Steph to change his personality like that and sell calls and stuff, but give it a try. You've done everything else, you know. Brunson, it's a free throw. So yeah, and then we're gonna after the final buzzer sounds, we'll talk a little Warriors, and then I think I'll do play-by-play of Wolves Nuggets as well. So we've got a timeout right now, and the score is 109-108. Q4. I mean, you can peek at it right here. Yeah. So I wonder if Steph could just watch a little Jalen and learn a few tricks. And I'm going to put some notes in the description, which will then be transferred to the comments. And then we'll talk about, as we watch, by the way, Rudy Gobert out tonight. I guess he didn't plan the birth of his first kid very well. I mean, why wouldn't you plan that out? I don't know. You hate to be judgmental about those things, but like, you know, it could range from literally it was a brain fart on him and his I guess wife's part. It can range from that to maybe, you never know, right? Maybe it was just the right time. So you don't want to be judgmental on that. But the bottom line is he's missing the game tonight. I mean, as he should. It's the birth of a human being, your human being. So you should be there for that. I got no disagreement on that. And let me do play-by-play. Hallie against Donte. Cross court to Neesmith. It's weird. It's pronounced Neesmith. I looked it up. Bad pass by Hallie. Oh my gosh. She's going to get a 94-foot dunk. Well, actually, he stole it at the Stephon Marbury. Next time out, I'll tell you. Siakam with a wild turnaround over his old buddy OG, missed it badly. Josh Hart, probably the player of the game, has the ball. Pick and roll with Jalen, back to Jalen up top logo. He attacks Nebhart. Pull up too good. Wow, the Knicks were down 5. They're now up by 4. That's crazy. Let's get rid of that old score. My bad. See, you don't want to get out of practice. Donte DiVincenzo, too aggressive. He has these brain fart. I mean, it's not so much of a brain fart. It's just that he's a little bit too aggressive sometimes. I wanted to bring that up, in fact, so I'm kind of glad that he made yet another mistake. There was a point in this game where he made 2 straight turnovers. And it's like, yeah, that's the Donte I know. I mean, it's just like, it's kind of frustrating with Donte, but then he'll turn around and do something amazing. And it's just, you wish that Donte would just eliminate those little mistakes. But he is what he is, and you just have to accept it. That's who he is. We saw that. We saw his over-aggressiveness. Anyways, Pacers with the full court press again, which has been working all game long. They've generated at least 2 steals right off the bat, maybe more. Hart turns the corner off the pressure, and he tried to dump it off the eye. Bad pass, Hallie. Hockey assist. Nebhart to Siakam, 94 feet. The Pacers are fun to watch. Their style of ball movement, it's just great. And it's and the youngsters pressing all over the place. They are going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. Oh, Hallie reaches in on Brunson, foul, and Hallie wants a review. Yeah, that looked clean. And Hallie is all over the Indiana bench right now. Wants a review. We'll see what happens. I mean, that angle looked pretty ticky-tack. Let's see the top angle. Oh, my gosh, that's clean. Thank goodness for the challenge. For once, I disagree with Steve Kerr on that. He doesn't like challenges at all. I like challenges. Why? Because of that. That's a ghost foul. At best, ticky-tack. And it's not even ticky-tack. Hallie didn't even touch him. So it's going to be a jump ball. So it's going to be Miles Turner against, can you sub Hartenstein? Figured out how to pronounce that. So the thing I was going to tell you is I recommend, even though there's only less than 2 minutes left, and you should obviously stay here with me. Of course, I'd want you to stay here with me, but listening to games at Madison Square Garden with your headphones on, it's great, man. You can really feel the vibe of Madison Square Garden. I didn't even realize that. I stumbled upon it. And so since 4:30, I've been listening to it, syncing up my TV with my headphones here. I guess I could use headphones on my TV. It's a Sony. You figure you could do it. Yep. Challenge is successful. Oh, Indiana recovered the loose ball, so they will get the ball, and you know Tibbs is going to be pissed. Show Tibbs, please. Come on, guys. Can I produce TNT one time? Lock in on Tibbs right now. He's actually not complaining. Maybe he already complained, but he's just sitting there with his arms folded. The other thing about Tibbs, you think you watch all these games, you just I'll come back to it. Let's do the play-by-play. Nebhart against Hart, pick and roll. Miles turns the corner. Good help, Donte. Kick it to Hallie. Back to Nebhart, left side. Donte reaches in, gets by him. See? Oh man, all the things we know Donte too well. It's just like you got to keep Nebhart in front of you. And instead, he wanted to reach and get the dramatic steal. It's like, oh god, but you know, not that you want the aggression, but whatever. Jalen just weaves around a little bit and fade away over Neesmith. So we are tied up again. Yep, we're tied up with 52 seconds. Show me 102, 101. Nebhart for 3. What? You don't want that. If you're Carlisle, you hope to get something better. But now you got to play defense. Jalen over to Donte. It's a kick ball. They want to review it, but I think that's a kick. You always call that a kick. You just do. Every level of basketball, that's supposed to be a kick ball. John Starks, former Warrior as well. Oh, wait a minute. Nesmith. Oh, Neesmith. It's hard for me to. Let me just call him Aaron. Oh, they're not going to challenge it. They could have. I mean, like, didn't he hit it with his hand? Whatever. Jalen 1-on-1. Nebhart. Neesmith comes over. Donte for 3. Got it. And that's the good part about Donte. So Dante's actually very Steph-like. Takes a lot of risks. But when he connects, it's dramatic. And it can influence the crowd. So Knicks up by 3. 39.4. Q40 39.4. So they should have challenged that. Let me see. I'm going to pull up my second screen here. Do I call it that? No, I'm going to pull up it's my second screen, I guess. And let me go back and see if that was clean. Oh, and let me see what happened on that play. Hold up. Yeah. So Neesmith had to double Jalen. Neesmith doubled Jalen, and Hallie is left. Either you got to go out to Donte or Josh Hart is open for a 3 in the corner. So Hallie caught in no man's land after they had a double Jalen. So it's tough. Well, the angle on the kick ball, you can't tell if it hit Neesmith's knee or his arm. You can't tell. So you hope that the Pacers got that one right in terms of not calling the challenge, because you think, all right, 39.4, Indiana down by 3. What do you do here? I think you got to go quick 2. Quick 2, so you give the Knicks a 2-for-1. Siakam trying to get downhill. Dante's there, makes him slip and fall. Neesmith now, and he loses the dribble. Siakam's just going to post up. They're running out of time on the shot clock, though. 26.6. Siakam takes whoever was guarding him, OG maybe. Oh, Nebhart, great defense. Sean Wright doesn't know which way to go, and they're going to give it to the Pacers again. Incredible defense. And Jalen says, challenge. You got to challenge it. And Tibbs is yelling at Josh Hart. Tibbs goes, "What the F are you doing?" Oh my God. Let me rewatch that. Was it just Josh Hart again? Yeah. Okay. So I think Tibbs is going, What the F are you doing, Josh Hart? You take it out, not OG Anunoby. And he has a good point. He has a great point. Josh was right there, but he deferred to OG. OG throws the ball into Jalen with Nebhart right behind him. Maybe you don't want to go there. Then again, I figured Josh Hart would throw it into Jalen. I would. You figure they might foul. I think he yelled at the wrong guy. Should be yelling at Jalen. You can't do a turnover at that point in time. Man, some of the mistakes we're seeing are like some of the Warriors' mistakes we've seen all season long. Anyways, it's Indiana's ball. NYK up by 1 now with 22.1. Can't wait for the final buzzer. We'll talk a little bit about the Warriors. All right. What's up, Deontay? New York basketball. Ooh. But they had to kill a challenge and burn a timeout. Oh, it was off of Nebhart. Where is that? Oh my God! Hold on. Let's look at the refs. Zach Zarba, Tyler Ford, and Sean Wright. Well, Sean was behind it. Should have been Zach. I think it should have been Zach because Tyler was on the other side. Oh, wow. Good game, though. Every game the Knicks play. That's why I think they have a good chance against Boston should they advance. I mean, we'll see, but and that's a dangerous inbound to Brunson who's stuck. And he ends up throwing it off Hallie, which then hit Brunson. And Zach Zarba is going to give the ball to Indiana. Incredible. Oh, my goodness. The inbounds problems of New York. It's great defense, though, by Indiana. Yeah, that's actually the right call by Zach. He got something right. Incredible. Hey, that dude recording it courtside, bro, you got to make that available. You got to post that video right there. That's a good one. So Hallie's going to inbound. Wow. Brunson comes out because there's only 16 seconds. They need defense. Indiana down 1. They can win it here. Bad screen by Miles against Donte. Donte again. Man, this guy is net. You want him on your team. Wow. DiVincenzo in a play, whether it goes for them or not, it's like he's always going to be involved. And Van Gundy says it's a acting job. Indiana's challenging. I would challenge that too. I don't think they'll win it, but it's like why call this? I don't know. Is he moving? Let's see. That you shouldn't call that. This is the semifinals, the conference semifinals. Miles isn't set, but it's close. It's close enough. I think like you just let it go. It's the playoffs. You don't want to. I mean, that was an acting job. It was a flop. Definitely a flop, no doubt. But by the rule, it is a foul, which they're going to rule right here on. You don't call that. Yep. He wasn't set. Yeah. Oh, well. All right. The inbound is a foul on Nemhart. So New York will go to the line. Jalen Brunson. And that was on an inbound. So Jalen will shoot one. They get a bonus point. Up by 2 now. Man, that's crippling. That's crippling. So 12.7, New York up 2. Re-inbound the ball. And all he has to do is make 2. And got the ball inbound, and they foul Brunson a little too late, kind of like just couldn't stay in front of the little pesky guy, Speedy Gonzalez. And so I had to foul him after a couple seconds went off. You'd like to have fouled him much sooner than that. So 10.7. Brunson can make it a 4-point game. Brunson has 42 points again. He's over 40 again. This kid is incredible. And just goes to show you sometimes you got to find the right fit. Definitely cannot fit this guy with Luka on the same court. It just doesn't work. Because you're going to render one of them less effective if you take the ball out of their hands. Same thing with Halliburton and Sabonis. So each of them found the right spot. But yeah, we'll talk about the Warriors in a minute after the buzzer sounds. We're down. New York is up by 4. I don't really care who wins this one. Oh, they go 94 feet. Hallie stumbles, though, and turns the ball over, and that'll end it. So that's a final 4-point win by New York. They take game 1. Congratulations, Knicks. All right, so the Warriors. What do we talk about first? You've got to really understand salary cap. Again, hoops hype, Warriors salaries. You just go hoops hype, Warriors salaries, and it will take you to this. And so Klay is a free agent. We've got 175 million committed, but that's counting Chris Paul. So really, the luxury tax is at 172 million, and the second apron is at 182 million. So, we're gonna jump it already. So next, every time out, we'll talk about the Warriors and how realistic is KD coming to the Warriors? How realistic is LeBron? No and no. They're both not realistic, but I'll explain why. And I don't know if I want, me doing play-by-play just now was a lot of work. So I think we'll just watch it. Aaron Gordon scores inside. Assist Jokic. Kyle Anderson got the start, my friends. And that's a guy that I think the Warriors can actually just add to the team as a free agent. It's going to cost us Looney in terms of waiving Looney, but and then Gary Payton has to redo his contract like he said he would. Conley to Towns, good. Must win for Denver, kind of. Every game's a must win, but that's why I think Denver's winning this game tonight. It's just they'll figure it out. They'll figure out a way to win this one. Kyle Anderson steals it. Wow. From Jokic. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Slo-Mo. Incredible. You guys like Kyle Anderson? I like him. I think he would be a great fit with the Warriors, and I think it can be done. Probably can be done. A lot's going to depend on Klay. Aaron Gordon tip-in. 4-4 early on. So, yeah, it's going to depend on if Klay's greedy or not, really. Kyle Anderson, another offensive rebound and scores. Oh, my God. That's pretty cool, though. Keep playing well, bro. Make me look good. So I'm putting a few scouting notes in the description. Ant Edwards misses a 3. He has been the best player on the court on many an occasion. Gets a rebound there, brings it up. 1 on 3. Look at Ant go. Oh, missed the layup. I got 9-18, 9-17, 9-16, 9-15. Jamal Murray in the New Balance. No foul on the nifty move. Kyle Anderson. Oh, missed it against Jokic, but got his own rebound. Sets a screen for Ant. Ant triple teamed over to Conley. Everybody recovers. Cat fadeaway over Jamal. Good. We'll see if Jamal looks normal or not, because game 1, he didn't look right until late fourth quarter, but it was a little bit too late by then. Cat steals it. Nope. Foul on Cat against Jokic. You're never going to get that call against the 2-time MVP. But yeah, at the next timeout, I will tell you why it's damn near impossible to get LeBron or KD. And then I will do the slow reveal. I wanted to do a video on it too, so I'm sort of spoiling it, but I'll do it. It's not like people are going to steal my video or anything. They miss. Outlet to Anderson. Slo-Mo. Over to Ant. Over to Cat. 3 ball. No good. Amy's in the house. Man, very, very low attendance tonight. Maybe I should have put the word out 2 days ago. Where is everybody? Where's Bruce? Where's Pinky? Where's Dean? Where's the other Dean? Where is Cholo? All the regulars are gone. Cat hits a 3. Minnesota up by 5. Jokic with the very unique moves to break the drought. Yeah, where is everybody? Strange. A lot of regulars not here. Maybe I waited too long, but oh well. It's unpredictable. Jaden McDaniels almost bells out the Wolves at the shot clock, but went in and out. Jamal Murray. Let's see how he looks. Over to Jokic. Over to Gordon. Fouled by Jaden. Jaden's a tough wing, as we know. All right, timeout. And 11-8, 6:49. So let us explain some more on this. All right, 175 committed. There's a few other spots in here that's like typically around 2 or 3 million, whether it's a veterans minimum right here. So it adds up a little bit. And you got to really do the math. You got to really do the spreadsheet work, which I have done. But the bottom line is that honestly, you're so close to getting under the luxury tax of 172 million. You might as well do it this year. You're so close. What that means is you let Chris Paul walk. You let him go. You just do. And the more that I think about it, and I've run this by Dean a few times, and we've talked about this stuff. The deal that was a trade for Chris Paul in return for Jordan Poole, like that was the number one reason to get Chris Paul, because you never know. You never know. It might have worked out. It didn't, and it wasn't really his fault. You could say there was, a risk with the injury. Broke his hand again for whatever the time, fourth time in his career, whatever it was. Multiple times he's broken his hand, the same hand, and but aside from that, he was pretty solid. The main reason why the team finished 10th was the first half of the season, which you can point to number one, Draymond. I think he bears the most responsibility. And then number two, Klay and Wiggins were awful coming out of the gate. And just the overall turning of the franchise and the speeding up of the rest of the NBA. So that confluence of factors made the Chris Paul deal seem like it didn't work. But there was always the optionality that if it doesn't work, then we can just let him walk and we'll get really close to the luxury tax line. And if we can get under that luxury tax line, then we can stop being a repeater tax team. And that'll save us an additional dollar for dollar, which Lacob actually revealed to Tim Kawakami. So step one in everything that we're talking about is that you're going to have to waive Chris Paul, or you're not picking up his option. And that will be on June 30th. But there's two other factors coming, actually three other things coming before that, believe it or not. And we'll discuss that at the next time out. So we're going to let Chris Paul walk. That's step number one. But actually, it's not chronologically step one. There's three other things that's going to happen before that, which should be exciting. One of them's next week. One of them's this weekend. So I'll reveal that soon. Cat at the rim scores. Wow. Minnesota, they are for real. Shoot. That's why I think they'll just run it back. Look at Cat giving the physicality to Jokic off the ball. Smart. I don't see the Wolves really breaking the team up in terms of their major salary guys. Jokic has to shoot a three at the shot clock buzzer. Missed it. Here's Slo-Mo. Let's watch Slo-Mo for a little bit. Sets pick. Oh, Anthony Edwards down the lane, reverse layup. Minnesota up 6 in surgical fashion, quite frankly. So very impressive. And Aaron Gordon hits an unlikely three. That was the one option Minnesota was willing to give up, and Denver nailed it. Aaron Gordon nailed that one. And you could see Ant Edwards with the body language, like, they're the one that we wanted to give up scored. Aaron Gordon reaches in on Cat. Yeah, so step one, let Chris Paul walk. Do not pick up his option. And he is going to be a free agent probably on June 30th. when the deadline passes for that. So June 30th on that one, but there's actually two other things happening. Two other milestones. Three other milestones, my bad. Nobody else is telling you this. Naz Reid for 3. Legit 6-man of the year award winner there. He played awesome in game 1 and against us and against a lot of teams. All right, Gordon answers. Three ball, Edwards, no good. MPJ rebound. MPJ playing like a 6'11 Klay Thompson in game 1. Jokic over to KCP, over to MPJ, 4-3. Good defense, Ant, no good. That's the thing, is they just play great, tough, long defense. Like Anthony Edwards is the guy with the shortest wingspan, which is crazy. Naz Reid, barely misses. Had to go one-on-one there. Jamal over to Aaron. They're letting Aaron shoot. He hits it. Maybe they want to change that up a little bit. Denver cuts the lead to 1. That's why they're the champions, man. Aaron Gordon, clutch buckets here. 13 points when they need him. Everybody knows. Everybody knows the game plan. Cat charges into Jamal. No call. No call by Mark Davis. Right in front of Mark Davis. Towns scored on that one. By the way, so Slo-Mo's on the bench. Jamal with an incredibly talented pass after the kick out. He was incredibly talented, but they miss a 3. Who was that? MPJ maybe? Ant with the in-and-out dribble. Hangs. Oh, my goodness. Jordan-like. KCP got hit in the family jewels. Probably. Oh, Mike Malone is going to get a tech. He goes right out because he's defending his guy, KCP. You have to give a technical. If that was Draymond would be ejected. That's got to be a technical. Nikki showed up. Wow. So that's a timeout by Mike Malone, but he is livid that there was no charge call on Anthony Edwards, and yet I thought KCP fouled Edwards. I don't know. That was weird. Michael Malone, but he's a smart coach, just doing that to rile up the crowd, rile up his own team. They seem to be a little bit out of it. I wonder if he's it was just a made bucket, right? So he can't challenge anything. Let's go look at the box score. Play-by-play. Denver timeout. Yeah, you can't challenge anything. There was no call. Mark Davis, is he gonna let he let Mike Malone get away with that? Wow. Let me watch the replay. See what happened there. Sorry, I guess I am delaying my Warriors talk. Let's see. I did not see an offensive foul on Ant. No, did not see that. Let's see if there was a defensive foul on KCP. Nope. It should be a no call. And I think they got it right. I like Mark Davis. He's in my top 5. I guess he handled it all right. But if that was Draymond, he would have thrown Draymond out. Reputation non-call. Let's go back to the box score. So let's go back to the salary cap table. Step 1, you're letting Chris Paul walk because you're so close to the luxury tax line of 172. And then on here's another secret giving away my secrets. On June 19th, Looney can be let go. June 19th. We have the option. If we don't waive Looney on June 19th, no. Is it Looney or Gary Payton? Gary Payton's on June 19th. Gary Payton's on June 19th. Yeah. The option for Gary Payton, he gets to choose whether he wants the $9 million or split that into 3 and make it $3 million for the next 3 years. Probably 2 years plus an option. Okay? And that would be sort of at the minimum. GP2 is the first domino to fall. You will not get that anywhere else on June 19th. Wow, look at Mark Davis yell back at Aaron Gordon. Should have been at least a delay of game, something. They forgot how to utilize delay of game. But Adam Silver would know nothing about that. Man, where were all you guys? Good to have you. All right, Aaron Gordon's going to shoot a 2. No good. McDaniels rebound. Despite it all, watching what we're watching, I do think the Warriors can compete with anybody here. And I think people are getting it twisted that they can't. And that's, again, back to, are you a positive person or a negative person? I think a lot of people are negative. But whatever. That's what sells clicks. Slo-Mo with the Slo-Mo fadeaway air ball. Oops. But he comes back and steals the ball on an entry pass to Jokic. We're going to look at the Minnesota cap table. No, that's Nickeil Alexander-Walker scores 94 feet later. Amazing. Wow. Slo-Mo. I mean, wouldn't you know it? This is a game where you kind of see what Slo-Mo's doing. You kind of go, yeah, we could use him. And I mean, just add him at the expense of Looney. But would you rather have Looney or Slo-Mo? I know there's sentimental favorite for Looney, but Kyle Anderson is just so much more versatile. I think it's a no-brainer. Wouldn't you add Kyle Anderson at the expense of Looney? I'm going to be giving away a secret, although really the only way to understand it is to have a spreadsheet. So that's a barrier to entry for people that want to copy my idea. You have to do the spreadsheet work, which is not only this, but more than this. Anyways, Denver's down by a touchdown, but who's that? Peyton Watson gets a corner 3. Boy, they needed that one. Assist Jokic. Minnesota up 4. Corner Slo-Mo, short. All right. Let's watch Slo-Mo guard Jokic. Man, this would be a great audition for Slo-Mo. And he disrupts a layup by Reggie Jackson. Good Lord, he's good, man. Slo-Mo. Wow. I'm putting notes in the comments. Well, they won't be in the comments right now because it's the live chat. Nickeil gets a steal. That rhymes. Over to Monty Morris. Former Nugget, no good. And Slo-Mo taps it in. Oh, my God. Let's hope he could re-sign, though. I think he could re-sign for, what, 125%, is it? Yeah, we got to look at that. Got to look at it in more detail. Jokic with the charge. Elbow into the face of Naz Reid. He made the bucket, but wipe it away. Yep. The old elbow maneuver got Naz in the face. I'm so glad that I don't have to listen to Reggie. I'd rather just do my own play-by-play rather than listen to Reggie. Reggie's going to be in New York Wednesday, sadly. I mean, they're gonna really get on him over there in Madison Square Garden, and there will be a heckler because all of these broadcasts, if there's a heckler behind the broadcast, you can hear it. You could hear it in Milwaukee, you could hear it in Indiana, and probably some other place I forgot. But like, I just can't stand Reggie's analysis or his voice, so I'll probably listen in and love to hear the crowd on my headphones, but then anytime Reggie speaks, oh gosh, it's cringe. 6 on the shot clock, 2-second differential, and KCP knocks it off. And that was Guthrie got it wrong, but then he corrected himself. I think that was Guthrie, right? No, it was Pat Fraher. No, I think it was Guthrie, actually. Let me look. Yeah, it was Guthrie. Looks more like the guy that made that call. So we're going to have a timeout coming up after the buzzer sounds with 6 seconds left. Down by 8. Here comes Jamal for 3, short. Incredibly. Denver again down by 8, even without Gobert. Okay. Oh, live streamers. What about streamies? Gary said that he would take the pay cut. That's correct. And that is Cholo. It's on the channel. Is that confirmed? Of course it's confirmed. Where the hell is my GP2 interview, damn it? Let's look for his picture. One of these has GP. There it is. I led it with, I should probably change the title then. My bad. Redo my whole deal. Okay, so it's confirmed right there. And surprisingly, I read the Tim Kawakami article today, and he thought Gary is just going to take the player option for $9 million, which you would do, but you're gifting the Warriors the opportunity to split this $9 million into 2 years plus another option. Why wouldn't you do that? Like, of course, Gary wants to play with his friends for 2-3 more years. Why wouldn't you? He doesn't need the money. Like, he can get anyway. So that's the first thing is, can Gary take a pay cut? Stretch it out though. Will Gary take a pay cut? That's another step that we need for us to acquire a free agent, an unrestricted free agent like Slo-Mo, let's say. Maybe. There's other guys out there. There's like, Markieff Morris, for example, that's around that range. Much less desirable than Slo-Mo, but I just don't think there's a lot of teams out there that would want Slo-Mo. And then the other thing to consider is Minnesota is heavily into the tax, into the luxury tax, if not the apron. See, $186 million, that's second apron already. And like, if you're going to pay Kyle Anderson $10 million, it's really $40 million. When you wire the NBA the tax and penalties, it's going to be the extra 30 to 40 million on top of that. There's no way they're going to do that, right? Monty Morris is gone. Kyle Anderson is gone. It's going to be these guys. They're going to pay Conley, run it back for $10 million. They're going to run it back with Naz Reid for his $14 million. They're going to run it back with Jaden for $23 million. That's why I just don't think they'll keep any of these guys. These have to be veteran minimums. They can pay him to come back. They're going to have to give him a raise, early bird or bird rights, one or the other. But that's going to be like 11, 12 million. There's no way they're paying anybody outside of these 7 guys, really. Let's call it 6. Nikhil has a little bit of a bump. But like these 6 guys, they're running it back. And I just, wait, no. Yeah, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 guys. And they have the 6th man of the year. The 6th guy deserves it. Actually, it's Naz Reid is a little bit more important than Conley. Conley is an important player, but he's like more replaceable than Naz Reid. Minnesota is stuck. That's why I think Kyle Anderson will be available. All right. Meanwhile, Karl Anthony Towns scores his 13th point. All right. Jamal against Naz Reid. Denver is down 13 as Minnesota comes out and scores 2 straight buckets. And Naz Reid blocks Murray. Wow. It's almost like they have their number. This is crazy. They don't even have Rudy. Sometimes that messes you up. We've seen it a million times with the Warriors where you game plan, and one of their guys is not available. Now they get a steal on the break. Great block by Peyton Watson. He might have just saved the game there. Denver still down 13. Reggie trying to get downhill. Missed it. Good defense again by Cat in Minnesota. Nikhil misses a 3. Jamal doubled now. Good double. They're not moving. Reggie's not moving. Reggie finally gets the ball. Jamal clamoring for a foul. Now it's late shot clock. Way at the logo. Jamal doubled. Great defense. Wow. Finds Peyton Watson. Has to shoot a prayer. It's an air ball or hit the backboard. Wow. So that's why I think Slo-Mo is actually available. We got a timeout here. I'm going to do a restroom break because I just had a Frappuccino, and you know how that goes for me. Oh, it's not a timeout. I'll try and... I got to use the restroom, man. I'm going to turn on the volume a little bit so I can hear what's going on. So don't tell the NBA.
You hear me? Timeout Denver. And now the Nuggets trail by 16. So far in the early stages of this series, the most they have trailed by. It's an 18-3 Minnesota run. Towns finding a tray in the corner for the Wolves.
Think you can call the shots? Play NBA Pick 'em today. Pick, watch, win.
With Schwab investing themes, it's easy to invest in ideas you believe. Spot a trend in electric vehicles? Have a passion for online gaming? Or want to explore the space economy? Choose from over 40 themes, each with up to 25 stocks identified by our unique algorithm. Buy it as is or customize to align with your goals. All at your fingertips. Schwab investing themes, 40 customizable themes, up to 25 stocks in just a few clicks.
What if pizza worked like money? Instead of going from the oven to your doorstep, they would pass through a middleman. You take out
Okay, I'm back, and it turns out they went to timeout. Now, the other part of this whole Kyle Anderson talk, before I start answering your questions, is that for us to do this, unfortunately, you'd have to shed most of this. It's going to be a $3 million charge. So you only save $5 million on Looney's 8. But according to my spreadsheet, which I will share later when I do the video, according to my calculations, you're gonna have to beg Klay to go at Draymond's salary or less. And I say less in case my math was wrong. You're gonna have to redo Gary Payton's contract and pray that he will accept, $3 million. Just make this, divide this by 3, and you should be all right. You have to waive Looney, and Klay has to come back at no more than Draymond. If you do that, you're about 11 million under the first apron. The first apron is at 178 million. The reason you can do that and go out and get a Kyle Anderson as an unrestricted is because of the non-taxpayer mid-level exception. But you will be hard capped at the first apron. It's doable, though. Even with whoever replaces Dario, I put some conservative numbers here for all of these minimums. So, again, the question is, would you sacrifice Looney to get Slo-Mo? And I think this is really a realistic addition to the team that can improve the team, unlike all of that clickbait out there. LeBron, KD, now I saw in the comments, Brandon Ingram, those are more difficult than this. So let me put the poll in there. I would love to know, would you let's just say sacrifice? Would you sacrifice Looney in order to acquire Kyle Anderson? Just a simple yes or no. All right. Loose ball, Peyton Watson gets a hold of it. Running out of shot clock again. Jokic is going to have to play out of his mind. Same with Jamal. Jamal blocked. This is a clinic. I can't believe what I'm seeing, actually. Minnesota up by 16. They have the ball. And they're really moving the ball around pretty well, too. Nikhil for 3. They're up by 19. This is crazy. Wow. Jamal brings it up. Denver just has to play through it. Just keep playing. Just do what you do. And just like we would have to do when we're down this far. Jamal scores a hero bucket. Another 3. Naz Reid up by 20. That's crazy. So let me type in my notes on that whole thing where we would have to waive Looney. NPJ Euro step bucket good. They're down 18, but just keep chipping away. The good news is that you're the defending champs. You have the best chemistry in the league. You have the 2-time MVP. Conley misses, and you just slowly chip away and do your thing. You've been there. So I still think the Nuggets can come back. They're that good. Even though Jamal got blocked again by Naz. Here's Christian Brown. He's been playing well. And Michael Porter Jr. saves the day, picks up the loose ball after more good defense. The good news for the Wolves is that they've built a 16-point lead with Ant Edwards on the bench. Jamal with the touch foul. If they're going to call that, they should call it a little tighter the other way as well. As far as this game, I don't really care who wins. I think I actually would be rooting for the Nuggets just to extend the series longer, maybe. Wow, so you guys are voting for not to waive Looney. I think that's sentimental. I mean, look at what Slo-Mo can do. He delivers you pretty good length. I think it would be an improvement on the team. It would suck. I would hate to do it, but like there's no other way to do it. I mean, unless Klay were to, play more at his worth, but then you could say that his market value is, as Shams reported, and I already wrote about on the website, he's probably going to get offered $30 million from like Orlando. So it's up to him. But I think his true worth is like probably $20 million. I hate to say it. Looked like Kyle Anderson actually got to the line there. I missed what had happened. And Jokic is going to score right here on Cat. Oh, that was Ant Edwards. Yeah. Okay, so I didn't miss anything. All right. I didn't think it would be a popular vote. Only 7 votes, though. All right, I'm catching up on some of the action here as I was talking. Cat's at the line. Michael Malone still doing his politicking with the refs. Okay. So that'll be my next video. And actually, no, I have of all things, I have a David Lee video that I want to do because my guy Warriors for Life mentioned to me that, or tagged me on a David Lee birthday thing last week. And I've been trying to just get my whole life together off the court, shall we say. So, making sure I get my health checks, making sure Jokic with the bailout there. It is ticky-tack, but they called the ticky-tack against Murray. And guess who is applauding that call? Jamal, because it's ticky-tack. If you're going to call ticky-tack one way, you got to call it the other way. And so good call in terms of consistently bad. That's what you get with the Keystone Cops. I mean, David Guthrie and Pat Fraher for a Western Conference semifinals. Come on, Adam. Golly. That's why it's so bad right now. Mark Davis is good, but come on. He did a good job not teeing up Michael Malone when Michael certainly deserved it. Again, Draymond would have been ejected had he said the same thing as Michael Malone. All right, Jamal misses. Mike Conley pulls down a rebound. Minnesota up by 17. Post-up foul on KCP against Ant. They're in the bonus already. Ant goes to the line. Look at Ant's calves. They're just nuts. They're just very superhero muscular. All right, I got to catch up on these comments. So I gave you my idea on immediately improving the Warriors with the least collateral damage, which as you know, in the poll really is Looney, unfortunately. But something's got to give. And then I have ideas on, obviously you look at who can you trade, and we've discussed this. I think the fall guy is going to be Wiggins, but we'll see. It depends who's available and all that. And I don't think the Pelicans will trade Ingram. Why? Why would they do that? Like, you got knocked out, but that's your first time in the playoffs, and you didn't have Zion. It just, those are summer league games. I mean, like, it's Aaron Gordon gets a dunk, assist Jokic. How many assists? He's got a lot. 6 already. I've already called his name out, and I'm not even paying attention to every play. Slo-Mo gets clocked, no call. I guess they're changing it to be non-ticky-tack calls now. Karl Towns attacks MPJ, goes with the elbow move, gets blocked and does the smart thing and lets it bounce. Kyle gets the ball in his hands and delivers it to Cat. I mean, like, that's a good play. What's not to like about Slo-Mo, man? I'm just trying to improve the team. I got to catch up on these comments. Let's check it out. Hello, Amy. Smiley Amy. And then same thing. Why would the Clippers trade Paul George? Why would they do that? Like, of course, they'll probably end up trading him now that I've jinxed myself. But it's just like, what else can you do with this roster, this salary cap table? You're stuck. You have to bring him back. Otherwise, you'll suck. What are you going to get for Paul George? He's getting old. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'd rather be the Warriors than the Clippers. I'd rather be the Warriors than the Suns. Well, look at the salary cap tables. Foul calling KCP. They're frustrated to death. They're down 19, and Minnesota's taking walks to the free throw line. Who else? Who else is stuck? On the other hand, like, Orlando can improve just with any free agent. OKC can improve. They can go after Klay, and they have the cap space, and they have the draft picks, and they have the contract, i.e. Gordon Hayward, to make a deal to attach the draft picks to. OKC is scary. They're going to get better. And, like, that's where you just got to dive into these salary cap tables. You have no choice as a fan. Now, if you don't want to do that, then please just don't react to everything just yet, because clickbait's going to come. They're going to want you to click on stuff. They're going to want you to believe that we'll actually seriously consider KD. I don't think we will. I don't think Phoenix will get rid of him either. So why bother? You don't have to worry about it, because Phoenix, there's no indication that Phoenix would want to trade KD away. And we'll talk about that. Anyways, Minnesota scored again from Ant, and then they miss. Man, 22-point lead. Minnesota. Ant with the shake and bake, and he brings it back out against Gordon, who then goes out and he burns Gordon. And one? No. Mike Malone is pissed at his team because he literally jumped out of his chair to to say timeout. He's mad at Michael Porter. No, maybe it's Jokic. It's Jokic. Yep. Jokic is on Kyle anyways. Yep. Oh, my God. If you go replay that, which I'm not going to expend much energy to do. Oh, my God. Michael Malone is actually pissed off at Jokic. Maybe he's just pissed off he's not directing it at anyone, but really that Jokic messed up that assignment, did not help off of Kyle Anderson. You help off of Kyle Anderson every single time. And he didn't do that. Crazy. 3:24 to go. Wow. Ant blows by MPJ, and Jokic doesn't help. Malone super pissed. I have never seen that. Most MVPs get a pass. All right, so let's keep talking about trades. So Paul George, they are stuck. You have to pay Harden. The thing is Harden doesn't mind playing with these guys. And did you watch the series? Every time it'd be Harden, shake and bake, get in the paint. Oh, I'm too tired. Let me kick out to Paul Coffey. Paul George, shake and bake. Ooh, that's vintage Paul George. Nope. 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. Kick out to Terrence Mann. Blows a three. They're old. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with this $48 million slot? You can't trade that for, I could see Paul George for Kevin Durant. Let's just trade old guy for old guy. But why would Phoenix do that? I think KD's a little tiny bit better. So the Clippers are stuck. They're stuck with this. That's what happens when you're paying $50 million a piece. Harden's going to get 40 something million, 40 plus million to these guys. At least our guys aged when they aged, although this 43 million, the guy tore his ACL, then tore his Achilles. So we really lost out on this roster spot. Then again, we won a championship 2 years ago. So, that was before the NBA really, made a hard turn, and now is, super fast now with all these teams like SAC, Indiana, and OKC. You got to win regular season games. That's another thing, the schedule. And when people say, oh, the Warriors, they went 0-3 against OKC. Yeah, we played them when we didn't have a full squad in the beginning, when they scheduled 3 straight games, the same team on back-to-back nights. That's some trash scheduling for what? An in-season tournament. Why don't you just take, the top 4 teams and do a Final Four? Why do you have to put all these pool play games and all this and that? It's just who cares? You're messing up everything. We get Draymond suspended or he's out of his mind, and then we got to play OKC twice in a row. That's not fair at all. And that happened more than one occasion. There was Minnesota. Meanwhile, Ant Edwards gets a dunk. And the schedule is all bonkers. It made the regular season really whacked. So now you got to learn how to win these regular season games. And our team was not built for it. You would hope that this offseason now, Steve looking in the mirror, Mike Dunleavy looking in the mirror, there's no way you would trade for Chris Paul this summer. That era's done. We learned our lesson, you would hope, right? You got to win regular season games, and it's not easy. Jokic with the uncharacteristic turnover. I want to credit Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson with some pretty good defense. 4 turnovers on Jokic. No, it was just, nope. Kyle Anderson wasn't even in the picture. My bad. It was Anthony Edwards that at least, it was basically an unforced error on Jokic. Crazy. Oh, Kyle Anderson with a tip out, but it went to the other team. Good tip out, though. Let's see. So let's look at Phoenix. They're stuck. The problem is, the reason why you're stuck is if your guys aren't performing to the $50 million or $40 million level, you're stuck. Other teams know that. They're not trading for depressed assets at 40 plus million. Bradley Beal is an extremely depressed asset, and that's the problem when you create big three situations. All three of them have to play well. Wow, they blocked Jokic twice, and he misses a hook shot. This is incredible defense by guys not named Rudy Gobert, which is incredible. That's pretty impressive. All right, so we've talked a little bit about that. You know, that might be the key to the NBA. The key to the NBA is to obtain $40 million guys, but make sure they're performing at $40 million levels. Bradley Beal has not, will not. They're stuck. You're like, what are you going to do here? You can't do anything. You're stuck. The dead weight of these three guys. But you try and get a guy, you know, maybe you deal Nurkic. You try and get guys around the big three. The problem is your big three overrated? And theirs is. And like, but you can't go away from it. You're all in. You have no choice. That's just how it is these days. You went for it, and you're going to be stuck with that until these contracts expire. And with the breakaway dunk, they're almost doubling up Denver with 29 seconds to go. Wow, man. Wow. This is shocking. Yeah, that was just Mike Conley stealing it from MPJ, who has no business dribbling inside the paint. Yeah, this is shocking. Denver held to 33 points with 20 seconds left. All right, and let's look one more time at the Clippers. Like, the problem here is that your 50 million guy was injured in the playoffs. That's the problem. Can this last 82 games? I don't think it can, but you show me. The onus is on the Clippers. So I'd rather be the Warriors than the Clippers or the Suns. Like, Draymond Green and Klay are going to be making like nearly half of what they would be making if they were in their primes. And that's fortunate for us, because like, they're old now, so they can't do it 82 games in a row, but every now and you just get into the playoffs and they could play like they're, you know, and it's part of a system too. So it's not like, here, your turn, or here, your turn. We have a system around this. So our salary cap our salary cap table is much more desirable than the Clippers or the Suns, in my opinion. I think we are going to surpass. I think Clippers will drop. I think the Suns will drop. They're going to be playing teams. We got to make it to 6. And if we don't, if we're, you know, 3, 4, 5 games under 500, we were 5 games under 500 at the 41 game mark. And I want to do some research on how other teams were doing. How were we ranked in the final 41 games? In fact, I'm gonna text. If anybody knows how to look that up quickly, let me know. I would love to know where we ranked. Were we top 6 in the final 41 games? Maybe I can look this up. NBA records in the final 41 games, 2024. Standings by date. That doesn't. Best record. Oh, thank you, StatMuse. Let's see. We're top 6. Look at that. We're 1, 2, 3, 4. We're 5th. You can't tell me we're not top 6 at this point in time. I really do think we are. That's why I think we'll do fine. If we can acquire Kyle Anderson for Looney, I would do it. I think we improve. We improve some defense. We get a little bit more mobility. We get length on defense. Mainly it's the defense, which sucked last year. But we didn't have Draymond for like first half of the year. So let's put that in the, first of all, let's get this StatMuse link. Boom. Actually, I'll put it, let me do that again, sorry. Repeat. We were 5th. We were 5th in the West in the last 41 games. Okay, to keep going on here since it's halftime. To try and get KD, first of all, Phoenix would want to, if they dealt with us, one of the rare things in the Tim Kawakami article today that was correct. Tim Kawakami didn't even know, for some strange reason, he didn't know that Gary Payton wanted to redo his whole deal. I'm shocked. Did he miss this? He was there that day, was he not? Did he not believe it? I don't understand that one. But Tim Kawakami seems to think Gary is most definitely going to take the player option of $9 million. I don't know that would happen. I'm just basing it off what Gary said. Okay, so why did I bring Gary up? The one thing I did agree with Tim Kawakami is that why would Phoenix trade Durant to us? You can get so much more from other teams, whether that's OKC. In fact, if I were Phoenix, I would deal with OKC, Orlando, and San Antonio, but they don't have anybody that you'd really want. And those are the two teams that have like tradable assets and cap space, right? So they have maneuverability, they have options and draft picks. So why would you deal with the Warriors? So if you're going to deal with the Warriors, then you're going to want Kuminga. And like, if you're taking Kuminga away from me and I am going to go with KD, then we are going to fall off a cliff right here. Like, we got 2 years and then it's rebuild. Do you want to rebuild? Lacob already said he doesn't want to rebuild. We're not doing that. So let me just completely dispel the KD myth. Why even debate that? Like, we don't even need to talk about it because transactionally it's near impossible. So why would I debate that? Like, you have teams that have better things to trade for KD. And if they pass that up, then you'd have to go to the next unlikely scenario, which is, okay, I'll negotiate with you guys, Golden State. Then they would want Kuminga in the deal. So then if you add Kuminga in the deal, then you have no like super talent out beyond the sunset years of Steph, Klay, and Draymond. Then we're rebuilding. And Lacob already said he's not going to rebuild. So, I mean, like, why are we even talking about like the KD deal is it's like less percentage than us getting a top 4 pick on Sunday, which, by the way, I should mention our next live might be Friday, depending on how well we do with the numbers here. Next live, let's put in your calendar Sunday. Let's see if we'll have Eric G on the show or not. He's supposed to text me back on that. What happened to my light? Mysteriously vanishes sometimes. Let's check if Eric G got back to me. Oh, it's Mother's Day. Damn, I forgot. Hey, how come I tap it a tiny bit and it? Let's see. Does it turn back on? No. He can come on later. Yeah. So put in your calendar this Sunday, which is Mother's Day. Our guy Anthony Ty will be in Chicago. He got the credential. He lives in Chicago. I realized, I was like, oh wait, the draft lottery, it's in Chicago. Let me see if Anthony wants to go. And he's like, yeah, where they're having it is 10 minutes away from me. So with Anthony Ty from the draft lottery, where we have a 3.4% chance of making it. Yeah. All right. So on the KD rumors, there's teams with better assets for Phoenix. Number one. Number two, Kuminga would have to be in the deal. And number three, Lacob already said he's not rebuilding ever, which we would have to do in 2 years if we dealt JK away. Right? I mean, you see how badly Klay struggled, and how he struggled. Like, if you traded away JK, we're accelerating the possibility of a rebuild. You hope that the old guys can do something, and of course Wiggins is the mercurial one. You never know which Wiggins is going to show up. Like, we got some problems with the top 4 slots. So why would you? Kuminga's untradeable. You cannot trade Kuminga because this number is going to be the top one or right below Steph. You want that. You want a guy here. You don't want to trade him before he becomes the second highest paid player on any team. So trading Kuminga is unthinkable. Like, you can't do it. Not even for KD. Now, let's go to LeBron. So I'm saying factually, Lacob would not want to trade Kuminga in a Durant deal when all the old guys are basically going to fall off a cliff. How long is KD's contract? And you'd have to gut the team to add up to $51 million. Look, his contract is even before 27. There's no way. You figure Steph will come back for some reasonable number. There's no way. We are not getting KD It just doesn't make sense. And then how about LeBron? Well, the thing is that LeBron is a $50 million player, and he would be opt out and become a free agent? Like, how do you fit that? So I had a little tit for tat with Dean, and I think I got Dean to come to his senses. He was able to find a way. So we are now at the 1 hour 30 mark. He was able to find a way to, trade the Wiggins salary into, say, the Spurs, who have cap space. And then so you trade Wiggins for whoever. Trey Jones was his example. You free up that space. Maybe Klay walks. Who knows? You definitely don't sign Chris Paul, or maybe he probably did have Klay coming back, but like, you create some space. But the most space that we can create for LeBron would be like 22, 25 million. Look, like, this is like almost free money that owners are giving to players. Like, this is like, you don't turn down $25 million when it's given to you. Like, the grind of the NBA is the same. Whether you make 50 million or 25 million, the grind of the NBA is the same. So why not make 50 million? It just, there's too much pressure on LeBron James to make what he's worth, which is 50 million, then take a pay cut to win a championship with the Warriors. Like, no, there's actually more important things in life. It's like the generational wealth thing. Like, how many lives can you change with 50 million if it's not, Bronny's grandkids, it's his grandkids. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't pass up 25 million when it's handed to you by these billionaires. So LeBron taking a pay cut to win a championship with the Warriors is not what you do. Like, Andre Iguodala would be the first one. Andre is now the president of the NBPA. He'd be the first one to go, what are you doing, LeBron? This doesn't set a good precedent for our value, And here's a guy that understands the whole, owners and, the whole label of owners. Ooh, what's that in reference to? Things like of that nature. It's just like, you do not pass up money when it's being handed out at this level in this day and age. By the same token, I do not see how Malik Monk comes back to Sacramento. So therefore, I'd rather have our salary cap table than Sacramento's, because Malik, they can only offer him, it's a quirk in the CBA. They've got to change it. This guy way, way, way outperformed his contract by 2.5, 3 times. And when you way, way, way outperform your contract like this, they could have extended him earlier, but like, it just practically didn't make sense. So they're going to lose Malik Monk. Now, if Malik Monk stays here and like nobody else offers him a gigantic contract, when there are teams that can offer him a gigantic contract of like at least 20 million, then I will adjust my thinking and I will apologize to everybody here. Like, what was I thinking? Like, oh my God, actually an NBA player really did pass up huge amounts of money to more than double his salary. Oh my God, the owners, nobody offered him, 25 million, 22 million, whatever it is. Like, oh my bad. Like, literally a 6-man award candidate, can start for any team. Like, it just, I'm telling you right now, Malik Monk, there's no way he's going to be a king. There's no way. Like, you don't pass up an offer of 22 million versus whatever Sacramento can offer him, which is less than that. And I should go look it up. What is the most the Sacramento Kings can offer Malik Monk? It's something below market value. 78 million, but it's a starting salary of 17 million. He could command well over 20 million, right? So they're stuck. It's too bad. He just improved too much, which is a quirk that I'm sure every day Vivek gets on the phone with Adam Silver and says, "You owe me one, Adam. You owe me one." Like, that's how it works in the NBA. That's why we lost Gilbert Arenas. Lo and behold, there's a loophole that was closed after that. So the whole Gilbert Arenas wouldn't happen to us. We lost Chris Webber. Like, 1 year opt-out. What the hell is that? All right, we're banning 1 year opt-outs. Rookies can't do that anymore. Like, it gets adjusted. So we're going to see the Malik Monk rule, I'm sure, pretty soon. That'd be a good thing to ask a salary cap guy like Keith Smith. Do you think there will be a Malik Monk rule? So on LeBron, no way he gives up free money. Wow. Slo-Mo with the Slo-Mo assist. Man, the more I watch this, the more I am willing to sacrifice Looney. I hate to say it, but like, if my job is to improve the Warriors, what I'm seeing from Slo-Mo tonight, it improves the Warriors, both offense and defense. Like, we're missing a 6'9" guy with the 6'11" wingspan who can play big or small. Like, he can guard 3s, 4s, and 5s. Oh, man, that's the guy you go. Now, if it turns out that we get Slo-Mo, you guys got to hype me up. I'm the first one to mention it. And I did check with Keith Smith. It's doable. It's doable. I sent him my spreadsheet. I said, can you confirm what the non-taxpayer MLE, what the ramifications are? He said, yeah. But we can only offer him 10 or 11 million, which isn't a huge raise. And Minnesota could offer him more, but like I said before, they're really paying him 40 million with taxes and penalties. And I'm sorry I haven't gotten to the comments. I will do that very soon. I kind of want to watch Slo-Mo, though, just focus on him, because looks like Minnesota's going to run away with this game. They are up 27, possibly 28. This is absolutely shocking. Nope, 27, missed the free throw. Yeah, I think Denver's really going to go down 2-0. But look, Minnesota's going to be at home. They're going to have a letdown. Steele, Edwards, Conley, pretty good defense by KCP to break up the 2-on-1. And Ant dribbles out of bounds, and Chris Finch is beside himself, sitting on the bench with the torn patella tender. He can't believe it. He's got when he's got that look when Steph makes a turnover, and that's what I do. But yeah, let me finish up my notes here. All right, so I ended with Malik Monk will not return to SAC by the same token, going from one subject to the other. All right, let's watch Kyle Anderson. Look at that switch on Jamal. I mean, he gets it. This guy's a high IQ guy. So he's guarding Jamal. He reaches in and forces Jamal to mess up his dribble. Wow. Jokic blocked by Cat. Blocked by Slo-Mo. Man, I chose a hell of an audition time for Slo-Mo for us. Wow. Jumps the screen to disrupt Jamal Murray, then blocks Jokic from behind or disrupts him. Oh, keep going. I'm taking notes so I can have some data to back up my next video. That is going to be how to create space to obtain Kyle Anderson free agency. We're going to need some help from Gary Payton and Klay. Klay, don't be greedy. Jamal tried to go behind the back. Turnover. Bad pass. Wow. Oh, Jaden almost scored on 3 guys. There's Jaden's craziness. He fouled Jamal on the rebound. But yeah, I'd rather have our salary cap table than Sacramento. I mean, look, Zach can do a lot of things, but I'd rather have ours than theirs, because how do you replace Malik Monk? How do you do that? That's tough. Like that leaves a gaping hole. Our roster doesn't really have gaping holes, I would say. We'll talk about this some more, but man, some of the Tim Kawakami comments today, 99% of the time I agree with him. But this one time, there were multiple things. So there was him thinking Gary Payton would just take the $9 million, him thinking that Moody doesn't deserve minutes. He does say it begrudgingly. Somebody asked, should Moody start? And he said no. That's the bottom line. Like, what? Nah, you start Moody. Like, that's it. Like, if Steve and Mike Dunleavy haven't learned already that to win regular season games, you better play the young guys who are capable, you got to start Moody. I'm sorry. You have Podziemski and Klay will be the second unit. You got to play Moody. You have to. Like, if you don't do it now, then what are you doing? So, and watch. He's not going to play Moody, and I'll be right here saying, well, I'm saying it right now, though. If you're 3, 4, 5 games under 500 by the new year, then it may be time to move on. And, I've never really talked about fire Steve, but like, we're going to see how stubborn these guys are. It's all about stubbornness and humility. All about stubbornness and humility. That's actually, I don't want Draymond being all judgmental with all these playoff teams either. Like, don't mess with the basketball gods. Look at Slo-Mo. Scores again. Good Lord, he's putting on an audition for me. So Minnesota's up by 29 as KCP shoots a brick, Slo-Mo rebound, slowly brings it up. Slo-Mo with the second unit makes a lot of sense to me. Assist to Nikhil in the corner. This is an incredible clinic. Nobody thought this would happen. Not even Minnesota thought it would happen. Wow. Down by 32. Just bring in your bench right now, Mike. I don't know. All right. So let's go through the comments because I owe that to you. Did I cover everything? I covered Kevin Durant, covered LeBron, covered Paul George. Joe from the 76ers? What? Who's Joe? You mean Tobias? Now, this was a comment from RJ 1 hour, 40 minutes ago. So sorry about that. When you say Joe from the 76ers, who is that? I'm thinking Isaiah Joe? Anyways, hoping to have a bigger team. Yeah, Kyle Anderson helps on the wings. Of course, pretty much the same height as Looney, but more of a 3-4 rather than a small 5, right? And Looney deserves better, right? He deserves better. But the problem is that we didn't evolve quick enough, and now it's too late, So like I talked about it on the website. I wrote even before, was it before the Christmas game? I said, can we please stop doing get the ball to Steph and Klay? Can we please just stop that and add in, get the ball to JK? Like, what happened here? You got to do that. And they didn't do it. They didn't do it. Then they did it. So you got to continue evolving quickly. So if we're 3, 4, 5 games under, that means we're not evolving. You know, and that draft pick has to play. So I'm not a fire Kerr guy, but you guys cannot be, I'll say, you know, I'll allow 2 games under 500 if we're injured. But if we're 3 games under 500 by the new year, then you need to wake up these guys at that point. And it doesn't matter if Draymond's suspended, whatever, like, you know, Wiggins, you know, you just got to play better. And if you're not playing better, then, you know, your coach will suffer the consequences. That's what you get, Steph. You better not come in and average 6 turnovers in the first week or the first 2 games. Ended the season with 5 turnovers against the Pelicans, 7 turnovers against the Kings. You must evolve. And I've said it before, the easiest way to improve the team is to get Steph to not turn the ball over as much. That's the easiest thing. Day 1, you could fix that. And Steve has pledged to do that, simplify the offense. So all of that. So GSW must continue to evolve quickly, cannot be 3, 4, 5 games under 500 by, you know, really by Christmas, it's going to be a red flag. I'll say Christmas or New Year's just to be nice, but it's really by Christmas. Otherwise, Steve Kerr may be the fall guy. And if you think there's not going to be a fall guy out of here, if it's not Looney, it's going to be Wiggins. Like, somebody is going to take the fall for last season. And the good thing about Steve is he'll be one of the last fall guys. But let's hope we never get to that point. Let's hope we're not 3, 4, 5 games under 500 by Christmas. Like, you absolutely have to win games. Like, if I were Steve, first day of training camp, I get on my knees and beg Steph, Klay, and Draymond not to throw the ball to the other team. Really, Steph and Draymond. It's not Klay's fault. Klay just misses shots, right? And he's going to come off the bench anyway. But, like, dude, you guys can't throw the ball to the other team. My job is on the line. Then they're not going to trade you. They're going to fire me. You got to win regular season games, man. You got to take it seriously. That's one thing me and my dad actually agree on. The humility of these 4-time champions. I mean, let's face it. You went to the finals 5 straight years. You won 4 championships in 10 years. You're not taking the regular season seriously any step of the way through that, other than setting the record. Oh, I already set the record, 73 wins. We took every game seriously. We knew how taxing that was, but we got in the record books. Do you think they're going to take games seriously in, you know, after winning another championship in you know, the Jordan Poole year, the punch, that was all messed up, you know, but like, again, it is sort of the same thing. Draymond punching him, you know, you just don't do that in training camp. He did it. He risked it. And like, you don't realize that that will affect your regular season games. And we had a struggle to get the 6th seed. And then last year, same thing. Like, you could see, like, you're throwing the ball to the other team. Klay's taking crazy shots. Wiggins is just out of it, probably with the broken rib coming back and all of that. But like, whatever, you know. And so there's not enough urgency to really improve and win games, thinking that, you know, it'll just happen. And it didn't. They really had to, you know, you really have to honestly play more of your young guys when your old guys screw up. Okay. Let's go through more comments. My fault. I went nearly 2 hours without looking at comments, just going on rants. But good to have everybody. Did Cholo get a stream from Stream East, maybe? You're in survival mode. But I'm glad you guys are here. Okay. Jasmine got a chance to chime in. No need to say sorry. I know. I'm just giving you a hard time on that one. Oh, cool. You were looking. Yeah, I need to do it, man. It's a hump I got to get over, just getting in the mode of creating videos from scratch to talk about issues like this. The live stream thing isn't, the easiest way to get clicks, to do these live. It's great to spend time with you guys. Like, I legitimately feel like people are listening to what I'm saying when I talk, which is a great feeling. I have a lot of gratitude to have you guys here with me. But the thing that really gets the information out is when you do a video report, like my guy, Matt Wolf on artificial intelligence. Every Friday, he does a news report of everything that happened in the world of AI, and or like X-Men Screen Crush with the X-Men latest episode breakdown, Easter eggs and theories and all of that. Like, I gotta pivot and start doing that as well. So I appreciate you giving me some fuel to do that. Jasmine, good to have you. Oh, Clay, right. So yeah, Clay, I mean, just don't be too greedy, because you are going to get, the link is in the description at the top. You are going to get some good offers from like Orlando and everything, but just come back and for what Draymond's getting paid. Okay. And Brandon Ingram, my bad. Forgot to talk about that. Yeah, I just don't think that you move Brandon Ingram just yet, because you didn't get a chance to really look at your team because Zion was injured. Again, it's the same thing. If one of your top 3 guys making 30-ish million isn't there, ooh, man, that's hard to win. And so it's unfair, really. You didn't really test your whole team. Maybe Ingram plays better off of Zion. I think you have to run it back. So that's my thought on Brandon Ingram. I think you just have to run it back. And again, this is another team that's not going to settle for anything other than JK. If they're going to give up this spot, basically tied for second most paid, and the only reason why Zion isn't quite at 50 yet is because of the rookie deal, and I think it's mainly the rookie deal. I have to look into that, but could be some part of the injury problems. And good thing CJ's not making 40. He's not a 40 million player. That seems fair right there. And so they can do some things. But as far as getting Ingram, I don't think they would get rid of him, because there's not many other players that's 40 million that you can acquire. Like, what, Brandon Ingram for, I don't know, James Harden, Paul George? Like, it's not the right fit for either team. That's the reverse fit of like Halliburton to Indiana and Sabonis to Sacramento. It hurts both teams to trade like Ingram for actually Harden's not even signed yet. So look at that, 80 to 50. Crazy. Even the defending champs will be down by 30 in the Western Conference semis. Crazy. All right. Let's take a look at how much they've got committed. 150 million. That's pretty good. You go, what, 2 million, 2 million. That's another 10 million for minimums or so. That only puts them at 160 million. They got to run it back. One more year here with Brandon. We'll see, though. I just don't see them moving any of these major pieces here. I think the piece that you'd want to move is CJ. You'd want to move CJ because he's so small. Like, where do you put him on the floor against, like, OKC, right? Like, and he's not, like, superstar level. So if I were to trade anybody, I'd try and trade CJ. Assuming you get Zion, but you do need outside shooting. Yeah, but they're in good shape. They're under the salary cap. Pretty good shape. Good coach. Good coach, good top 3 players. Pretty good. You didn't get a chance to throw Zion into the mix. Yeah, I think New Orleans will continue to be better. I'm sure there's options for Valanciunas. The problem with us getting a bigger guy is that we don't really have space for a $15 million guy unless you're trading Wiggins and then you're sacrificing point of attack defense there. So that's tough. That's tough. Also, Brandon Ingram did not have the best performance against Lou Dort, who's only 6'5". So I have my concerns on that, although I'm sure Steve Kerr would put Brandon in advantageous positions using Steph and Klay's gravity. I'm just not really thrilled about Brandon here. They're not going to want really Wiggins for him. And I don't think Kuminga's tradable. Like, I don't want to rebuild either. I don't want to, I know we can make, I don't want to, not even make the play-in. Okay. Nikki with the anti-LeBron stuff. All right, so they've cut it to 25. All right, Bruce. I know. Where's Dean Chambers? I know. Dean is at school, I think. He's at school. Whoops. Jasmine doesn't want Slo-Mo. So who would you want? But is no need to waive Looney if you're not going to use the $10 to $11 million non-taxpayer MLE. Now, Tim Kawakami is going to say, oh, no, the non-taxpayer MLE is $12.9 million. No, it's not. It's a hard cap at the first apron. And based on my calculation of what is fair to give to Klay, we'd only have about 10 or 11 million. I don't know what you do with that. I don't even think it's fair to pay Klay 1 or 2 million less than Draymond, because he's gonna get an offer of 30 million, so he's worth it. That's what he's worth in the open market. Too bad. And so I just don't see any other way to do it other than waiving Looney to create another 5 million of availability. But yeah, the non-taxpayer MLE, according to my calculations, all things being fair with Gary Payton taking a third of his salary and stretching that out. There's only 10 or 11 million. So who else can you get for 10 or 11 million? I looked at the list. Marcus Morris, Markieff Morris, there's not a whole lot out there. So I looked at it and stumbled upon Kyle Anderson, and he looked like the best available. So I think that's, I don't know if but like there's not much else to get out there. I don't really see either of the Markieff and Morris brothers. I don't see either of the Morris brothers as really improving our team. Okay. Yeah, Nas's jump shot is ugly, but it goes in, and it's effective, though. It's kind of like Tyrese Halliburton, so that release seems to work. Do you think the Orlando? Oh, come on. Like, yes, of course. Of course it's true. You just have to look at the salary cap table. I'm telling you, I know it's daunting. It really is daunting. But if you want to be able to answer those questions yourself, just go look at these salary cap tables. It's not that difficult. It really isn't. Let's go look at Orlando. Got to give you that tough love, Okay. First of all, it's Shams. When Shams says something, it's definitely true. But you got to understand the dynamics of clickbait. So he's not going to just sit on that. If he gets a text saying, or he texts somebody else, whatever, he's going to use it. He's going to drive clicks. He's got an image, a brand to further. Look at that. They're losing Markelle 17 million. I mean, they've got Paulo on 12 million, rookie deal. They've got plenty of space. I don't even need to scroll down, right? And this is what looking at salary cap tables all day will teach you. Like, you see the top guy at 17.4 million. We just looked at 5 or 6 salary cap tables where the top guy was at least 30 million. Klay 43 million for last year. You already know when I scroll down here, this is going to be a paltry number. 85 million committed. This is a dream of a salary cap table. You can do a lot with this. There's almost too many options here, but yeah, things are on the up and up for Orlando. You should be very happy to get a salary cap table like this, which is very OKC-like. So let's look at OKC, because that will be the other team that has space. So are the Sixers. The Sixers have space because Tobias Harris isn't coming back. They're not going to pay him $39 million. And is he going to give up his market value? He's worth at least $30 million probably, because he's tall and he can score. And he's pretty good defender. Not bad. And like, if you're worth 30 million, other than special cases such as Klay coming back to play with his buddies, who he won 4 rings with, you go and get the money. I mean, Klay's already made enough that like the $6 million difference between 24 and 30 million. I mean, you made 43 last year and you were worth half of that. There's different dynamics. Whereas like Tobias, Philly's going to want to replace Tobias with somebody else. Since we're talking about Philly right now, they could offer Klay, because look, they got 60 million. This is an excellent position to be in as well. Even Buddy Hield comes off. But see, Buddy's going to make at least 15 million, right? He's a shooter, 3-point specialist will make that much. Kevin Huerter makes 15 million. You know, that's where you'd hope Klay would be. But your value is also what someone is willing to pay you. And when you have, and having Maxey at 6 million is just so awesome. Like, I'm sure they'll extend him out. He'll be 50 million out here, right? So they can really retool this team. They're in good shape. Heck, maybe we bring back Oubre, right? Oubre played damn well in that. Would he want to come back and play for Steve? Maybe not, right? Unless we convinced him that, yeah, we're not going to do the whole get the ball to Steph every single time down. Like, we're willing to change. And I'm sure he wants to start somewhere. It sure would be nice if we could have just traded Wiggs for Oubre. Let's say, right? I mean, Oubre brings it, man. I don't know, man. Wiggs is such a head case. I don't know what to do about him. Because if you wait until the trade deadline, there's not as big a market. So that's a problem as well. Let's look at OKC. Look at this. Good Lord. They're under 100 million. Golly. So they can offer the moon to Klay. So, yeah, all these things, these are all in my article. It's already talked about. So some of these things, you got to get the whole Let's Go Warriors experience and watch every video and read every article. No, I'm just kidding. I know that's hard. So there's going to be a lot of repetition. That's just part of it. So, yeah. We looked at Orlando, Philly, OKC, amazingly light. Let's call it light salary cap tables. So yeah, those rumors are definitely true. And it's coming from Shams. And there's salary cap space. Yeah, this, you can do better. You can do better. You gotta know where you saw the information from and take note. Take note of it. So I answered this one, right? Ingram is not a free agent, I don't think. So when you need to look at a specific contract, you go spottrack.com, Brandon Ingram. Unless, because sometimes Hoops Hype will do weird things, like it'll look like Chris Paul is gonna get paid 30 million no matter what. That's not true. So nope, he's not a free agent. He'll be one next summer. Let's catch up. Arrow Addo, good to have you. Go Bear Rock in the baby. I know. Perfect timing, Gobert. My bad. I said, maybe you should have better timing on having the baby, but wow, Rudy obviously knows better than I do. Let's see. And I talked about LeBron already, so only way to get him is to only pay him like 20, 25 million, and he's not going to do that. So that's the end of that one. Do you think we'll get some great players? Define great players. All right. Getting a lot of comments about the game, which is good. So I didn't take too long to answer some of your questions. Still need a big three. Really? I don't know. Who else? Denver really has a big too. Aaron Gordon is a big three, and no. That's debatable. What's he making anyways? Let's look at Denver. 23 million. Isn't a big three 30 million or more? May not even be. If you look at New Orleans, New Orleans can add somebody. I mean, is CJ McCollum a big three guy? If CJ McCollum is not a big three guy, then you're talking 35 million or more. So if CJ McCollum isn't a big three guy, then Aaron Gordon certainly is not. Aaron Gordon is a support piece, complementary piece, a la Wiggins. He's actually getting paid less than Wiggins. That's a bargain. But he fits. Big three is when you have, three guys at 35 million each or more, which is like Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi. OKC is a little different because nobody's getting the big contract yet. But even then, I can't think of like Shea, Holmgren, and Jalen. It's really just Shea and like four guys who bust their butt. Same thing with New York. Same thing with Indiana. Indiana doing the full court press today. Now, Minnesota would be a big three because they've got Gobert at 40 million, although you don't think of him as like a superstar big three. But it's a Gobert at 40 million, Cat 40 million, and Ant will make 50 million. Luckily, still on that rookie contract with the extension. How much are they paying Ant? $35, yeah. So you're the number one pick. It's an automatic extension, pretty much, if he's playing well. You give him the money, but it's still affordable. Like 35 million for Anthony Edwards is like, that's a bargain. He should be paid 50 million. But technically that would be, I think you would consider that a big three. But it's not of the same, one of them's homegrown, right? So it's not the free agent way or trade way like the Clippers or the Suns. Dallas has a big two. Let's look at Dallas. Big two with a bunch of long guys. That's on purpose. you have to have a special guy in terms of Luka, which is special and very ball dominant. And then you got to find the right guy to put next to Luka. It cost them a season with Jalen Brunson. That didn't work. And then you got to hope that Kyrie's okay being the number 2, which was in the news a couple days ago, you know. So there's a big 2. So big 3 is a good way to instantly sell tickets. No doubt about that. So I can see why Phoenix and the Clippers would do that to get to where they are. But it's going to be totally different than our situation. Our guys are homegrown, and now they're all homegrown other than Wiggins, really. And that's where we are. Like when you're looking at these salary caps all day, you don't even really think about labels. Like, who cares what you call it? It's just like how you have this spreadsheet. How do you deal with it? How do you make your team better? And whether you want to call it big 3 or not, it's whatever. Obviously, it's not. But Giannis, Drew, Middleton, yeah. So you go over to the salary cap table. Although they don't have Drew anymore, it's Damian. 30-ish million, yeah, you could think of it that way. But then what do you do here with these guys? You know, sometimes it's these guys that make a difference. It's all of those things. Naz Reid, yeah. Number one, it's hard to just, you know, look back. Like, how was he acquired? First of all, spottrack.com, Naz Reid. Oh, previous. Here we go. Signed a 4-year, $6 million guaranteed. That's pretty good for 2019. Oh, he was a 2-way. Yeah, so he's homegrown. Sometimes you get lucky. A 2-way becomes a $20 million player. Good for you. Like, you just got to tip your hat. So number one, Naz Reid is homegrown within Minnesota's system. Then you can do about that. We try our best with our guys, whoever it may be. So long ago, too, 4 years ago. Now, would we have used them the right way? It's hard. I think, right? These past 2 years, 3 really, has been about get the ball to Steph and Klay, which won 4 rings. So I don't think it's a fair question. You can't ask that question and have 4 rings. That's unfair of you to do that, right? So can we stop doing that? Oh, we're wasting Moody. Oh, we're wasting JK. It's just like we're evolving. That's what we're doing. That's what happens in real life too. You got to evolve at some point. You can't just instantly change. But you got to identify your weaknesses, and it takes time to even do that. And yet you still may have, made millions or billions. Look at Mark Cuban. He's evolving. He realizes, you know what? The next step for Dallas, for the franchise, is to build a casino resort that's basketball related. I cannot do that. I am going to relinquish control of the Mavs. So you could say, well, should have done this a couple years ago or whatever, and then you'd be there now. It's like, it's just, you got to let the process happen. Can't always be judging all the time. It's just like you're in the middle of a process. So you're in the middle of change, and so you could literally say we don't use anybody the right way as long as we're winning championship rings, and then the after effect of that, it's just normal. Every franchise is going to go through this. Denver's going to go through it. OKC will go through it. They'll probably go through it 5 years from now, but they'll go through it. Like, I think too much is being made of, like, there's just too much judgment on what the Warriors did wrong these last 2 years. I just see it as normal evolution, if not possibly even faster than usual, because certain things happened where you absolutely had to play Podziemski. You absolutely had to play Kuminga. You absolutely had to play Trace. You didn't get a chance to play Moody. But now you do. Like, I expect them to play Moody. Like, if they don't start utilizing even from a transactional point of view, if you don't start making this more of value right here, then you're going to be stuck here with some issues. You're going to have to extend him, which will bring his salary to what? At least high teens at the very least. You don't want a high teen million guy to only play the same amount of minutes that he played last year. You want him to be performing. And if not, you better just trade that and get somebody who is performing with that many minutes. So, like, that's why I completely disagree with Kawakami today in his article. He doesn't see how Moody can play more when there's that, Brandon Podziemski. Nah, man, figure it out. Move Podziemski to the 1, move Klay to the second unit, and promote Moody to starting shooting guard. He can do it as long as he keeps playing good defense, which he's improving slowly but surely. But, like, you have to play Moody. But I can see why you didn't. And I'm not going to get hung up on, like, oh, you should have played Moody. How? Like, we're changing our paradigm from get the ball to Steph and Klay to make it simpler. Get the ball to Steph and Klay, but not all the time. Make it simpler for other people, and therefore we'll reduce turnovers and utilize JK some more. I think the problem is that people don't want to hear me out on that. They're too stressed out. They're too in survival mode that any little thing that goes wrong, their brain is already, like, on the lookout. They're on high alert. So, Warriors aren't doing this, that, the other thing, and the other thing after that correctly. Let me judge. So, meanwhile, I'm like, well, I mean, it takes a while to change what your habits are. You got to go through some pain. It's this big oil tanker, in the middle of the San Francisco Bay, and you got to change it from not being totally reliant always on Steph and Klay's gravity. So I would expect, I'll be very shocked if we don't see some new plays on game 1, preseason. We should see some new plays, really to get JK and Moody going. Now, Moody can improve as well. They've talked about that. Got to shoot more. Kawakami talked about that. Shoot faster. You get an open look, launch it, and just be deadly like that. But I think everybody can improve on defense, and they talked about that while on the podium. Multiple guys mentioned that. Even Steve mentioned that they will improve the point of attack defense, the individual drills. So I think people are just naturally impatient. But I want to remind everybody that we're fifth in the West in the second half. We got a good team, and yeah, we can improve a little bit. We got to figure out Wiggins. Really got to do, and we don't. I've created the option of exchanging Looney for Kyle Anderson, for example, and I think even that little thing might push us to fourth. You never know. But I'm not messing with the starting lineup, which hopefully will be Steph, Moody. Man, hopefully JK can hit some threes, so he needs to improve as well. And Draymond and Trace. I'll be interested in hearing who is the shooter that they want to get. There's got to be somebody out there. Shooting, point of attack defense, and roll the ball out there, and we'll see. Actually, we're 27-14. The person that tweeted it out said we were 28-13. We're 27-14. It's incorrect. And in fact, we're 2 games better than the Lakers were. So I think there needs to be kind of a shift to more of the youth involved. So now let's, led by JK, let's more utilize the youth to win more regular season games. And then we can readjust back playoff mode. Catching up to more comments. Let's see. So yeah, we'll go live on Sunday. I know that's odd. I might go live on Friday, but then that would kind of make Sunday weird. The timing between Friday and Sunday would be weird. I guess I could go Thursday, but Thursday is who's playing Thursday? It is a 23-point game with 6 minutes to go. Let's look at Thursday's schedule. I'm pretty optimistic. I would love to roll the ball out and just see how we do. Plus, we got a draft pick. I think you can get somebody good at 52. We've got some ideas of who to draft thanks to Eric G of NBADraft.net. He might be on Sunday, so be sure to tune in. Oh, so it's Cavaliers Celtics. Ugh. That one's hard to watch for me because Cavaliers just really don't have anything other than Donovan Mitchell. That's going to be 4-1, I think. But I hate to predict, you know. I just don't think Cleveland's got a chance at all. And then it's Dallas OKC. But see, for you guys on the Far East, if we go live Friday evening, it's Saturday morning for you guys. And so I just don't know that that's a popular time. So I think I'll just go Sunday and just hopefully get some video reporting up, just like Nikki was saying. Let's see. We have the 52nd pick. Or a top 4 if we defy the odds, the 3.4%. And let's say, or a 3.4% chance of getting into the top 4, which would dramatically help us for this Sunday. We'll see how I feel on Friday. All right, so on Draymond, like, your guess is as good as mine. So why not pick the more optimistic option, right? You can worry about it. That's your choice. Remember, worry is a choice. I'm not going to worry about it. You can worry about it. Kuminga for Naz Reid? Are you crazy? Oh, man. Oh, Kuminga for Brandon Ingram now. That's still a no way. Let me look at Brandon Ingram's stats. Like, did he have any breakout games? Let's look at his game log. $25 is the most. 31. No, game score. 40. Here's a 40 against Washington. I don't think he fits. It's still a yikes, no way. Even you know, obviously not for Naz Reid, but I would not trade JK for Brandon Ingram. I mean, JK has a way higher ceiling than Brandon Ingram. Boy. Brandon, it vanished. Hopefully I've answered a lot. There you go. Yay, me and Percy agree on something. That was at 8:31, so that was nearly an hour ago. Good Lord, I am so slow on these, but it's tough to do live sometimes. And I'm kind of glad it's a blowout because I didn't really miss, talking about the game all that much. You guys did. And I haven't literally looked up and watched the game since it was 80-50. And I'm assuming nothing much changed because it's still a 23-point lead. All right. So I'm just catching up on comments. I just read Cholo's comment from 8:43 p.m. saying that he's listening podcast mode. I should read out the comments that I'm commenting on. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I should we do rewatches? Let's end the poll because it's been 2 hours. The votes to keep Looney are in. So people want to keep Looney, or they don't feel like Kyle would change the team as much as I think he would, or improve the team as much. But at least I found a way to, I think, improve the team, if not change it, whereas most other ways are damn near impossible with us being really close to the first apron. So should we rewatch the 2022 finals on off days during these finals later in June? I would have to like illegally stream it on Twitch, huh? I think I'd have to illegally stream it on Twitch. Man, I got to really do my research. I got a month or less to look it up. Only way to rewatch 2022 finals is to sign up for League Pass, right? That's fine. I'll do it, and then I would. Don't tell anybody, but I would need help from Arbel, but make a Twitch account and just throw it on there. Can I do that? Yeah, I could do that. I could do that on my other laptop. Shh, don't tell anybody. How would we do this? We would have to no, I would just have to make a sacrificial Twitch account, I think. Shh. Dina Gone, let me email Dina Gone, or somebody tell me what is the best way to do that. League Pass and then throw it on a Twitch channel, huh? Yeah. I would do it. I would only need to make 6 Twitch accounts for each game. And possibly less, because maybe one of them doesn't get shut down while we're streaming it for you guys, right? And how would I do that, though? I think there would be a delay, though. Oh, gosh, that would be the problem. Can you put Twitch on a delay? Oh, geez. Huh. Let me think. I could maybe record it. No, what's the difference? Let's see. I stream it on Twitch, there would still be a delay, wouldn't there? Is there a delay? Where's Arbel? Arbel, are you on? Let me see. Let me hit him up on Instagram. Is there a delay when you stream on Twitch? Okay. Or is Twitch instantaneous? I don't know. It would have to be on Twitch. All right, I'm going to do a quick restroom break. Be right back. Nuggets have lost. 10 more seconds. 26-point loss. Be right back. Thank you for waiting. Then we'll call it a night. You know, I was thinking about the whole JK thing and how all the Warriors, especially Draymond, was like, oh, I think CP is going to unlock JK. Well, that never happened, did it? So, whoopsies. But JK was unlocked eventually. There's a way. In fact, I do want to look at the loss to Sacramento because in the second half, there were little sparks where we utilized Steph's gravity and got JK on the back door. I don't recall how many times that happened. Maybe only twice, maybe only once. But there's a way to do it. And so hopefully. But anyways, let's see. Let's get back to some of the comments. Lakers fans feeling great tonight. Oh, is Toby on the stream? No. I need to get back to Toby because he wrote an article that mentioned me, so I can't wait to see it. I just haven't had time lately. trying to get my life in order in terms of like, again, health checks, having, contact lenses. Like, you get so busy during the season that you don't even have time to take care of your own health. All right. Let's catch up on some things. Scrolling through the comments. Congratulations. Congratulations, Wolves, man. Oh, thanks, Pinky. Good to have you. Tobias did a Klay. Oh, man. Who else did a Klay? Someone else did a Klay. It was Tobias. It was... Who had 0? D'Angelo? No, it wasn't D'Angelo. It was... Dang, I can't remember. Someone scored 0 in the last game against somebody. Damn. I can't remember. Maybe some of you remember. Okay, good. We have some links. Oh, right. There might not be links. Oh, the big 3 thing. Yeah, it's just, it's a label. It's debatable. So Bobby Marks was the one that said 30 million from and by the way, that's in the article, which is right here. It mentions the Bobby Marks thing, so smash the like button. Oh, cool. I think I'm caught up. Oh, and Beal has a no trade clause. I love it. I love it. Phoenix is stuck. They're stuck with that team, but that's what you got to do. You just bought the team. You're Matt Ishbia. You want to make a splash. You want to sell tickets. You want to make it exciting. He had no choice. Of course, I would have never picked Beal. I was anti-Beal since Summer League. You can look at my tweets. I put it up on Instagram stories when Phoenix lost. I posted my old tweet. If you just go check my personal tweets, I threw Beal under the bus. I was there watching him in person. I'm like, how is this guy the number 3 pick? He's not doing anything special out there. And so maybe he did do some special things at Washington. I don't know. We never got to see him more than twice a year. And sometimes we didn't get to see him at all because of injuries or what have you, or whatever. And like, he never jumped out at the page, jumped out at me off the page. And like, if you're making 50 million, you better jump off the page for me. He doesn't. And so good. I'm glad, what I saw in Summer League translated 10 years later. Ooh, film session, huh? Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, I have the time. I got to get my life in order first. Like, just make sure that everything's good. Not that there's any indication that anything's not good. I just need to do certain things. I still got to figure out why AT&T is charging me $100 a month for internet. Like, they're overcharging me on something, and I need to do that tomorrow. But tonight I got to finish my taxes too. So there's that. Oh gosh. So yeah. And it just takes a while. It takes a while to get there. Yeah. My Kyle Anderson idea is pulling a rabbit out of the hat. Like, it's something from nothing. So don't forget that. Like, otherwise, fine, you know? So I don't want to hear like, I mean, at least you're sticking around and hopefully some of this rubs off. But like to just go, oh, and you know, your idea of Kyle Anderson, oh, well, he's 30 and Brandon Ingram's 24 and Kuminga's 20. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, my idea of Kyle Anderson is creating something from nothing. You should be thanking me for giving you some kind of an option. So like there's other names out there. If you go and look at 2024 available NBA free agents. I got the list from ESPN. Is it this? Let's see, free agent. Maybe it was Hoops Hype. I trust Hoops Hype. But I don't recall it being, yeah, that's not it, because it's got Siakam on there. ESPN, it should be ESPN. Spot track. Oh, here we go. Team by team lists. But the problem is they don't put the salaries on here. So you got to really search. So now you're looking for guys around 10 million. Xavier Tillman, probably not tall enough, right? Is he even at 10 million? No, he's minimum. So that's the problem. You got to just scroll through these things, and you can't look at 2025. And Nick Claxton is over 15 million, you know, so like, I mean, the other idea I have is Wiggins for Robert Williams, Matisse Thybulle, and Jabari Walker. What else are you going to get? But then you got to pray Robert Williams is back to normal Robert Williams, because you can't do that deal if he's not 2022 Robert Williams, which he's probably not. So I wouldn't do it. I would just keep Wiggins and you know, have daily therapy sessions. Figure that out. Derrick Jones is available, so you could overpay Derrick Jones. So how about Derrick Jones? All right, so I'll try and do the rewatch. I'm going to need some Twitch streaming help. Hopefully Arbel gets back to me. But let's go ahead and do the poll then. Like, would you overpay? I mean, you still got to, let me see. You could go taxpayer MLE. Derrick Jones, is Derrick Jones a $10 million guy, or is Derrick Jones a $6 million guy? That's the question. Well, let's just go with worst case scenario. Would you let's see, would you sign Derrick Jones, who's starting and playing great defense, by sacrificing, you know, waiving, sacrificing Looney? Let's see what happens. It was Dre who unlocked JK and I think Steph. You gotta get his buy-in to say, we're gonna run a play for JK. Oh, okay. Got it. Cool, good idea. You know, you gotta get his buy-in on that. Yeah, but too bad the whole CP3 unlocking everybody. Oops, didn't quite work. Of course, he was out for what, 2 months was it? I don't even remember. 2 or 3 months. Let's see how long was Chris Paul out? Let's see how many games he missed. Game log. Look at that career. Oh boy. 36th game to the 56th. So missed 20 games or 21. And that was a month and 20 days. So that's approximately 7 weeks. Oh, Patrick Beverley. I mean, fair question here. I'm not with the whole, cancel culture, bully a bully on social media thing. Let Adam do his job and come down with a punishment for Pat Bev, or an explanation of why not. That's what I think on Pat Bev. I just really don't like the whole bullying idea. Just because someone was a bully to somebody else doesn't mean you should be a bully to that person. And it's easier said than done. Thanks for asking. Okay. Thank you for explaining. Cam Johnson. I forget what team he's on. Let's look it up. Spot track, Cam Johnson. Cameron Johnson. Probably got to spell that out. Brooklyn Nets. So he's signed. So he would not, Nets would not be trading Cam Johnson for Wiggs. Too risky. Depressed asset. And let me see, he's going to make $23 million. I would say, asset performing at market value. What adjustments can Denver make? I wish I paid attention to the game more. I think they'll bounce back. They always make adjustments. They'll be fine. There's going to be a letdown. I will be shocked if the Wolves don't have a letdown in Game 3 at some point. So series have a way of evening themselves out. Oh, so DJJ is a wing. He's a wing defender who apparently is now hitting threes for Dallas. Let's look at his wingspan. I'm pretty sure it's 7 feet. Derrick Jones Jr. wingspan. Yep, 7-foot wingspan. He's playing great defense on, we'll see. He's got the Shea assignment, probably. That's a tough matchup for the Mavs. But I'll be interested in seeing it. And maybe we'll go live. Should I go live Thursday? That's the real question. All right. Derrick Jones Jr. not getting a lot of votes, but that would be another guy you could overpay. You might not have to waive Looney to get Derrick Jones. You could maybe use a taxpayer mid-level, but I don't know if other teams have that option. I'd have to go back and see who's in the second apron. The Nuggets could get him probably. They're probably taxpayer, but not second apron. Let's look at Denver. And Dallas actually probably isn't quite there yet. 188. Oh, they are second apron. My bad. Oh, wow. Because Pope's got an option, Reggie's got an option, and who are they paying more? Oh, they're already in the second apron right now. No, they're below it barely. They're at it. So they'll go over it because everybody gets a raise. What was Dallas? I mean, Dallas could just overpay Derrick as well. I think they're pretty good. 173. So, yeah, depends on what they do. So we got to hope OKC beats them to shake some of these guys free. Who gets a raise here? Who gets a raise? Josh Green gets a raise. And Kyrie and Luka marginally. So they'll be in first apron territory. Second apron's 182. So they could overpay Derrick Jones Jr., but Tim Hardaway Jr. is injured right now, so I think you'd want to not mothball him. Like, if you're paying a guy $16 million, you want him to be performing as a $16 million guy. And that, similar to the Moody situation, is occupied by Derrick Jones right now. Great maneuver to get a guy to instantly replace Tim Hardaway. So I just don't see them bringing back Derrick Jones for taxpayer mid-level, $6 million, which we could do without waiving Looney. And so I'd love to know what other teams have the taxpayer mid-level. Let's look at the standings. No, I mean, OKC certainly, but you would expect, I don't think there's any playing time on OKC. And they can go get a major free agent if they wanted to. We already know Phoenix doesn't. We looked at Dallas. Pelicans, I don't think so either, right? Just looked at them briefly. 150 million, they could. But that's duplication of what they have, because they have Herb Jones. They have Trey Murphy, who, by the way, we haven't talked about this enough. I wanted Trey Murphy instead of Moody. I really did. You can go look it up on the website. Wouldn't you rather have Trey Murphy right now to kind of instantly replace Wiggins? But no offense to Moody. Moody's right there. But, hey, numbers don't lie. I mean, Trey Murphy is doing great. Obviously, Zion's absence allows Murphy to start, and et cetera, et cetera. So a bunch of moving targets, but I like wings. I really like wings. Let's look at the Lakers. And then I got to look at the Eastern teams. The Lakers are probably, they can't. I mean, they can do a taxpayer mid-level, but then that puts them in the apron, second apron. Yeah, they're going to lose Taurean Prince. Taurean Prince or Derrick Jones Jr. If you're gonna vote yes for Derrick Jones, then you probably vote yes for Taurean. What's his wingspan? Let's make sure this page is locked. He's got to be able to have good wingspan. Taurean Prince wingspan. 7 foot. Yep. I'd rather have Taurean Prince than Derrick Jones. So that poll that I'm doing right now, oops, I forgot. Taurean Prince should be available. And then we should look at all the Eastern teams too. So we're doing a poll right now to catch up on some of this note-taking. Did a poll on Derrick Jones Jr. versus Looney or Taurean Prince, actually, by the way, i.e. some wing defender who can knock down a 3 every now and then, with Wiggs being the mercurial one. But we do need somebody on the, and it goes back to I would rather have Kyle Anderson than Taurean Prince and Derrick Jones, because I think anybody that they can guard, Kyle Anderson can guard, in my opinion. But let's look at some of these other ones, because can some of these guys go to like New York? I have no idea. Might as well go through them while we're here, looking at cap tables for teams that can do a taxpayer MLE, that we should be able to do, barely. Again, it kind of depends on Klay. And Gary Payton. Sorry, depends on Klay and Gary Payton. People don't realize Gary Payton redoing his contract is very, very important for these mid-level exceptions. Looks like everyone in every playoff team in the West, well, we'd be competing against Sacramento for that, because they've got, as we saw earlier, they're going to lose Monk just because by CBA rules, they can't offer Monk as much. So they're well below the tax. So they can even offer a non-taxpayer. They've got a lot of improvement they can make here, although they'll lose Monk. That hurts. But see, they don't have a big 3, so to speak. So they've got some room to work with. 172 would be the target. So that's another, maybe they can, I don't know. I mean, it's their problem, but right here, Barnes at 18 million, that to me, that's a yellow flag for me. But not to say he's not performing at 18 million. It's just that I'd rather find a guy at 20 million or more right here. So see what they can do. It's too bad it's not going to be Monk. It's really too bad, but that's how it goes. Chris Duarte hasn't panned out. And these are all minimums down here. But Sacramento is a team that could do mid-level. So that's good. We're only really competing with Sacramento, assuming we can do a taxpayer mid-level. All right, so I talked about Denver. They'll make adjustments. I don't know what they're going to be. I don't want to spend the brain energy to look at the game tape on that one. And I don't know their team well enough. Let's look at Memphis. curious. You expect them to get better. So they got some room here because the luxury tax is at 172. Of course, these minimums right here will add up to that. So they're probably right at the tax. But, Ja is only making $36 million. I mean, he's a $50 million player, no doubt. But I don't think Memphis would want to move Jaren just yet. They got to run it back. All these guys were injured, so run it back and let's see what this team can do. Desmond's going to get 34. I think you run it back. And they're not going to have much room either. Even though running it back isn't technically the same old running it back. Why? Because they were injured this year, so you're not running back an injured team, but you are running back the same roster. I don't see them making a change here. Why? You didn't even get a chance to try this team. So why would you break it up? Just go with it. Now, if they're injured again, then that's kind of like karma's telling you something or fate is telling you something. Look at that, Victor Oladipo. I wonder how good he is. But he's too small for us, huh? That Gary Payton saying that he wanted to redo his contract is in the podium exit interview here. Cool. So I think we're caught up to all the comments, and yeah, the poll it's pretty close. Only got 10 votes and only have 18 people on right now. But yeah, it's still for now a keep Looney audience, which is fine. 10 o'clock right now means I am not going to go get another Frappuccino, which is good. I don't want to just keep loading up on Frappuccinos. Okay, so maybe the next live will be Thursday. Yeah, don't forget Sunday. Why am I on this page? Let's go here. See all games. But should we do Friday with... No, we should do Thursday. Forget the Minnesota-Denver game 3. That's Friday. Thursday will be Cleveland-Boston. Boring. Watch it be a totally tight game. Plus, it's ESPN, so I don't have to listen to Reggie Miller on that night. But I wouldn't be listening to him because I'd be with you guys. So should we go live? Yes, go ahead and do that. Next live Thursday. Let's go with Thursday. Am I doing anything? I'll be shocked if I'm already doing something. Oh, damn. Hold on, our bell hit me up. Okay, next live Thursday then. Let's do Thursday 5/9 at 6:30 p.m. for Dal OKC. Then also Sunday 5/12 at 12 p.m. for Draft Lottery with Anthony Ty on the scene in Chicago. So let me fix that. Any other comments? Yeah, Sunday's Mother's Day. That's why I want to go live Thursday as well too. So, yep. But it'll be. Wait, what time is it in the Far East? At 12 p.m. Pacific Sunday. Let's see, what time is it now for you guys? Current time, Philippines. (1:04 p.m., huh? So it's really like 15 hours. So if I minus 10 p.m. is minus 10 hours. Oh, it's gonna be what? 3 a.m. Monday. It'll be 3 a.m. Monday for you guys. Nuggets getting swept? No way. If you're up 3-0 on the Nuggets, like, wouldn't you have a letdown? You would have just a natural letdown at home. Like, Denver is good enough to at least win that one. But yeah, they're nobody wants to be down 0-2, that's for sure, especially going on the road. But they do have 3 whole days to scout. So Jamal will be suspended? Well, his name is not Draymond, so I doubt that. Let me look that up. I missed it. Jamal Murray, huh? Jamal Murray. What did he do? He threw a heat pack at who? At the ref? Oh, under the floor. What the heck? Hold on. Right above the State Farm sign. Oh, okay. Only Draymond would get suspended for that. Watch. I know, right? No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Someone could have gotten injured and all that. Probably deserves to be suspended the game, but like they're not. Like they all come to their senses unless it's Draymond or Pat Beverley kind of. They got reputations. If you have a reputation, then we'll just go overboard on our punishments. And if you don't, then we'll give you a get out of jail free card. It's very extreme. Have you noticed? It's very extreme, isn't it? Oh boy. Pacers will not go deep into the playoffs. Well, they did play. They played really well for like, 42 minutes maybe. Yeah, I have a feeling Jamal will. I mean, it looked like also that like it was more than one object in the heat pack thing. So like you kind of go, oh man, you suck, and then whoops, that thing fell out, and so they'll let him off the hook. I feel like. Yeah, I mean, he probably should be suspended. You definitely need to investigate that a little bit, but look, if Jamal Murray gets suspended, then that kind of messes up Minnesota's game plan as well. But I don't know. I just like, and then that will mess with your psyche. You know how it goes. You tend to take your foot off the gas pedal when you don't feel threatened, and not having Jamal for game 3, could backfire on Minnesota. We've seen these things backfire on the Warriors. So you never know. So I think I want to do a better job at not relying on predicting things from this point forward. And that certainly doesn't generate clicks, but I think I want to stay on that. Let me try and at least convince you to once in a while not make a prediction and just enjoy the process and just enjoy what happens. That's what gets Barkley into all this trouble. I'm going to close by saying, like, I saw all these posts. If you were on Instagram, you saw me post this. On Barkley or TNT not returning. I mean, again, it's entertainment versus information. Inside the NBA has always been about entertainment. And most times slapstick humor. Sadly, but it's fun. It's entertaining. I know it's 10:12 p.m. Pacific. It's 1 a.m. Eastern time. What do you do at 1 a.m. Eastern time? Are you going to do X's and O's at 1 a.m.? No. Are you going to joke around and say all these exaggerated things. Yes, that's what you do at 1 a.m. That's what people want. They don't even know what they want. They don't know what they don't know. And so, in my opinion, Barkley and TNT and Inside the NBA ending, that's great. Even Adam Silver has said that they need to do more analysis. Why not take the approach of the NFL? Do you think at 1 a.m. after an NFL game, do you think they're just doing what Inside the NBA does? Like, they've been doing this for 25 years. They've conditioned the NBA audience to be lower IQ than they could be. Why is it that the NFL goes into X's and O's and makes the audience smarter? Why can't the NBA do that? This is your opportunity. So I will close on that as like, hey, Adam, this is your opportunity to do the analysis thing, to do what the NFL does great, which is educate their audience on the game and increase fan IQ. Increase your fan IQ. All right. Jokic is not very successful. Yeah, still, yeah. I'm going to not make any predictions, and we'll just let it play out, see what happens. In fact, Adam Silver hasn't even done anything with Pat Beverley. So the longer it takes to judge on Murray, the worse it is for Minnesota, because they got to prepare. Actually, they're probably it's still unpredictable. You don't know if it is worse for Minnesota the later they find out about Jamal. You could debate that one back and forth. So luckily we don't have to worry about it. Like, it's not affecting the Warriors. So we can just sit back and watch it unfold and watch the world burn. Watch the Denver Nuggets burn. Who knows? All right. Thanks, Cholo. Wow. Makes me inspired to go ahead and do some of those. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm good. Let's end on that note, man. What a thing to end on. I appreciate you. That's so kind of you to say that. And let's pull up a salary cap table in the back here. Let's pull up our salary cap table just as a decoration in the back. There we go. Do that. Any polls out? Nope. Cool. I ended the poll. And smile. Thank you, Cholo. You're so kind. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to convey what we do here. On Twitter, you'll see that I tried doing this. I don't know if anybody mocked me on Twitter or not. Let's look at twitter.com. Is it going to go to Let's Go Warriors properly, or is it not? Here it is, the most high vibrational subset of Dub Nation. That's you guys. And I want to start getting the message across, because I could always go back to this Muni Long thing, right? She talks about high vibrational. And that's what I want to do as well on here. Talk more about that. So let me talk about that. I want to sign some players. Yep. I will do my best to create some video reports and website articles that kind of show the options. There's not much though. There's not a whole lot. Oh, I actually went over the character limit. So, friendly reminder, here are some of the poor man's commish, because I was commish of my men's basketball league, which had a good ride. We went up to 125 teams in the Bay Area. That's insane. It was so tough. I would drive from San Francisco to Oakland to San Francisco to San Mateo, back to San Francisco, sometimes to San Jose. It's crazy. Warriors, no Warriors in playoffs is boring, but then again, it's a good opportunity to kind of expose yourself to other teams out there. Again, I'll say that I think we're in better shape than the Clippers. I think we're in better shape than Phoenix. I think we're in better shape than the Lakers. And we're in better shape than the Kings because they're going to lose Malik Monk. I haven't even looked at Eastern teams yet. So already 4 teams that I'd rather be us than them. So I think that's good news. And then finally, I do want to say that next big day for GSW roster, Sunday lottery day, and then 5/19 for GP2 option deadline, and then is it 5? No, it's 6/19, June 19th, which is really weird to have. So there must be a good reason for that. And 6/24, Looney team option. And then CP3 team option. There is some exciting stuff coming down the pipeline. You can deduce some things from that information that I just gave you. That's why information is so important to me, because instead of trying to entertain you, I'm just giving you some facts. Like, we only have to wait a month, not even a month and a half. If GP2 doesn't take the option, then you know he is going to redo his contract. That's huge. We'll know this by June 19th. And then 5 days later is Kevon Looney. What do we do with this? So if they waive Looney, then at that point, oh, we're getting under the luxury tax. No doubt about it. In fact, to a point where we can utilize the non-taxpayer mid-level exception, which you got to be hard capped at the first apron, which is $172 million. But according to my spreadsheet, which I will share in a video report, I think we can go out and spend $10 or $11 million, depending on Klay's contract. So then on June 24th, first of all, look, on June 19th, if Gary Payton does not take his option and redoes it to something else, that gets us a step closer to getting Klay back, because that clues me in to say that, oh, then we're signing Klay and we're trying to create more dollars available by cutting this up into maybe 3, cutting that 9 million up to use this money on a mid-level free agent. And then 5 days later, if Looney gets waived, then you know for sure. At that point, it's like, oh, and it's not like you redo GP2 and then you waive Looney and you haven't talked to any free agents. No, they've talked to him, you know, tampering, whatever, right? No, they're in talks with guys. So you already know they've got someone in mind. So at that point, you're like, oh my God, who is it? Is it Kyle Anderson? You never know. It'd be great if it was, because then I would look like a genius. But me saying that, probably not going to be that. Now that I've said it, that's not how the world works, right? So like if that happens, then you're like, oh well, then soon thereafter, how can they possibly opt in to Chris Paul at 30 million if you've just redone GP2's contract and or maybe waive Looney or not? There's a lot more you can tell from the GP2 one. June 19th is a big day. Like, nobody's saying that. Congratulations. You found me. June 19th. Well, really, the draft lottery this Sunday. Because if somehow we defy the odds and we get the 4th pick in the draft, we would get to keep that guy, which is incredible, because then you can go and get a defensive wing or you wouldn't have to go look at it. You might not have to worry about a Kyle Anderson or whatever. Klay Thompson doesn't even know this, but no, actually that would change some things, because then the number 4 pick would be probably, let's look it up. How much does the number 4 NBA draft pick get paid in 2024-25? Go Google AI. 7 million. No, that's 2023, so it's probably more. Probably 8 million. The top pick will make 10 million. Rookie scale, 26 more rows. Oh, so it's about the same. 10 million again. Let's go ahead and click on this. Yeah, here. The big lead. All right. Rookie wage. Second. Does it just say about 10 million? We'll make about 10.5. So it's about the same. So the 4th pick is about 7.3 million. So you'd have to add 7.3. So you wouldn't get your veteran mid-level guy. Let's see. 7 million. Wow. The top 4 pick would get paid almost as much as Kuminga in his 4th year. That's the difference between number 4 and number 7. Of course, Jonathan's number 7 was years ago, and there's, inflation. So I would almost not want to get a top 4 pick, but then again, I do want a top 4 pick, because you're going to get somebody with some good talent. Hey, it's a win-win either way, psychologically. We get a top 4 pick, we get a top 4 pick. But then it creates a $7.5 million salary slot. I think if we get a top 4 pick, Looney is definitely getting waived. Let's put it that way. Right? I mean, it has to be. You're trying to duck under the tax. When else would you do that? you can't do it. I guess you could do it next year. Man, you're so close. You just might as well do it this year. Because what if something happens and you just can't do it next year for whatever reason? Man, yeah. Man, it's tough. It's tough. It's really tough to predict here, right? Because this is your yellow flag. Andrew Wiggins is your yellow flag. This is troublesome. We're not getting this value right here, right? So, like, what do you do with that? You don't want it. You don't really want to split it up because then you can't have the maneuverability to go get a good guy. Like, this was Jordan Poole. It became Chris Paul. Well, guess what? This is going to disappear, probably. It's going to disappear. So you lost Jordan Poole for nothing, kind of, right? You kind of don't want to do that, right? But I tell you what, just like the dates you see on your screen, June 30th, we'll know a lot more by June 30th, if not June 19th, with the GP2 one. So a lot of speculation, man. I mean, it's almost like let's keep Wiggs, build him back up, and if he acts mercurial at any point in time, then just make sure he starts playing more at a $25 million level, and then trade deadline February, figure out a way to, or then maybe he'll play at that level or what. Like, it's tough. It's tough, but there is still more flexibility than the Clippers, the Suns, and kind of the Lakers. Yeah. And you never know, Brandon Pajemski might pop. He might play like Manu Ginobili every single night. He might play like a $15 million player, right? Yeah, so this is very interesting. It's very interesting what you do out here in these years. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, there's this talk of legacy and, are you really going to pay Wiggins 30 million out here? Are you really going to pay Draymond 27 million way out here? It's not a terrible thing for him to go to some place. Got to fly in here. Go to some place for his last couple years, that kind of thing. So this roster management, so difficult, so hard. Just remember that. It's tough. All right. Brate time and just us time. All right, so see you Thursday. Bye-bye. Thanks,